I'm in the sky.
Airplane mode, you're cutting everybody off.
Oh, that's okay.
I'll tell you what's a really cool new feature on the new phone. What I really like, the new software.
How do I get the software?
You'll get it in September.
Why can't I get it now?
Because it's not meant for anybody technically to get it yet. Technically. But it's kind of a risk actually rocking with this right now because it's beta software. So at any time, a serious glitch could come out and it could just like totally screw the phone up for me.
Don't do any like payments. I would not do any like payments or like credit cards. Like
as I do all my payments yesterday on it.
You never know who's watching, who's tapped in.
I know.
Upload your credit card information to the cloud.
I got hacked actually. We'll talk about this. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I got twice during this whole pandemic. I've had credit card fraud. Applebee's for $78.
$78 in Brooklyn.
Wait, but who steals someone's credit card and goes to Applebee's?
That's what I said. Like Peter Luger, fine, I could see it, but
Yeah,
Applebee's
really.
for $80.
That's hysterical. I mean, not hysterical,
That's a lot of Applebee's,
Yeah,
though.
I know. I was thinking that. Like, what are you ordering that's $80?
Who'd you have? Well, like, what credit card company was it with?
Chase.
They're pretty good though. They
were so great.
Yeah, they cut it off right there.
Cut it off right there.
That's how Amex is. Amex sends like
They're
homing.
great.
Anytime I've told them that something's wrong with the card, they send homing missiles to the location of where the charge was.
They're
like,
awesome.
we're just gonna decimate everything.
They're
Fuck 'em
great
all.
customer service.
Yeah, forget everybody.
Well, when I was in Spain, I used my credit card for everything. And at the first transaction I did, they're like, hey, somebody across the world has your card. I'm like, it's me, guys, but thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did the rookie. I've never traveled outside of the U.S. besides Costa Rica.
Yeah.
You did the. I didn't tell the credit card companies I'm traveling.
I just wanted them to talk to me. I felt bad. I was
We
lonely.
wanted to test them, make sure that they were doing their job.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He was lonely. He was like, damn, man, I wish I could just talk to somebody. Fuck, I guess I'll just pretend like I have fraud right now.
It's crazy, but yeah, I guess there's a lot of fraud because people are, who knows doing what.
So when I was at Apple, the cool thing about the iPhones, when they started Apple Pay, what they did is there's something inside each phone called the secure element. And basically what that does is every time you use Apple Pay, it uses your card, but it digitizes in different numeric orders. So hackers can't really access that information. So technically when you use Apple Pay,
It's pretty secure.
It's more secure
Yeah.
than if you just use your credit card because your credit card is linked right to the account. Apple Pay shifts everything around.
Oh.
So the other cool thing about it is if your phone is taken and someone steals your phone, obviously it's hard enough to get into it without Face ID, Touch ID, whatever. But say they get in there, not only can they not use your card because they still require Face ID or Touch ID, but if you wipe the phone, the secure element in the actual phone wipes out all the credit card data too.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. And even if they find that someone's trying to lift that part of the chip off,
They know.
it wipes the credit card info off too. So they did a good job with it. But I like that the new software has a bedtime feature.
You can track sleep.
So you can track sleep with the watch, but the other part of it is it creates like a wind down. So if you put your phone into bedtime, this is what it says. It says sleep well. It gives you a darkened screen.
Thank you,
And you can
Apple.
do shortcuts like my meditation, open headspace.
Oh, I love that.
That's cool.
So this
I
way
love
you
that.
can't access all of it and it dims the screen fully.
Yep.
So because the hardest thing for me at least, usually I'll play Xbox and I'll go right to bed and I'm like wired.
Yeah.
I'm like killing terrorists online. I'm like all crazy up.
You're like in bed still doing
Yeah,
it.
I'm in
Terrorists
bed.
and 12-year-olds.
Yeah. So it's like for me, I need to be able to chill for a few. And unfortunately, like so many people I know, I fall asleep with the TV on. I don't like the TV on when I'm sleeping,
Yeah.
but I fall asleep with the TV on. So this at least will kind of put me in that mindset of, oh, I put bedtime at 11 or I put bedtime at 12 and it starts telling you time to wind down. Like it'll give you like a little knock on the wrist on your watch. It'll be like, hey, you should
Sleep.
probably like relax a little bit. So
It's good. It's a great feature. People need that because that's what we do. We're in bed with our phones, laying down, like super stimulated.
yeah, all the blue light. I mean, my glasses that I use, but I don't use them all the time because it's mostly for distance or if I'm editing, stuff like that. My glasses have the blue light blockers in them, and I could definitely tell a difference. I
Yeah.
can tell like I don't feel as much hitting me. It's almost like you can't explain it, but it's just one of those things that in the long run I think helps with the wind down process and also with how much damage these screens are doing to our vision and our eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Because you think about your phone, your laptop, you're watching TV. Now all the cars have virtual cockpits. Like so, this way all your dashboard is digitized.
It's lights.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
like
such
everywhere.
sensory stimulation. It's a lot. That's why people, especially with anxiety disorders, it's like, where is it coming from? Because we're bombarded by everything. everything all the time. We're on. I love that.
Yeah.
So we're going to be taking advantage of that feature.
Oh my God!
I love it.
Every single night so far. I mean, I've been binge watching Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So
There you go.
I've been watching all those again. So it's a little hard. I'll look at the watch. I'll be like, oh God, it's 1:30 in the
Don't
morning.
you know it's Lord of the Rings? It's not bedtime.
Yes. Shut up, Apple Watch.
Goes out the window.
Yeah, you obviously don't know a great trilogy when you see one.
Oh, that's funny.
But listen, Elyse, so great to have you in.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited to be here with you guys. I'm like I feel like I always watch. I'm like the consumer person in this, and now I get to like be here.
We're all
love it.
happy to have you.
Seriously, super pumped to have you. You have a great background, which I want you to obviously get into. I know last time when we were trying to get you on the podcast and we just had scheduling mishaps, which is totally cool because we got you in.
Yeah.
Basically, we wanted to talk about just kind of what you see on rehab, blood work wise, and what you see in a lot of people's blood work now. I mean, there's so much that you bring to the table that you can open people's eyes about.
Yeah.
And I mean, what better time to have you on? Well, there's a viral pandemic going on.
I know.
Okay.
So
People have been asking, like, what's your one thing that you think about this? Like, what are your thoughts? My thoughts are a lot. There's a lot I think about this, but definitely I think right now it's probably a perfect time that I'm here. I feel like this worked out better just with what's going on in the world, but viruses cause distress. People are seeing that. Like whether or not it's hitting close to home, it causes disease. So I'm excited to share with you guys some of the things I see and yeah. All about blood work. Do we want to dive in?
we could dive into like little areas. So like I think what I want to ask you so I guess we could start off controversial wise because I like this. Because I like diving in right into it. Yeah, why the hell not? So everyone's got their opinions on face mask, no face mask. Okay. Personally, okay.
No.
There we go.
Don't have to ask me
I mean,
now.
the three of us were all on the same page.
Yep.
Now I've been reading some stuff and just a lot of people I used to work with at Apple, older people, and which I get you're worried about getting sick and whatnot. But then a lot of different people that I wouldn't expect, almost like badgering and shaming people for not wearing masks. And I know I've said it on the other podcast. You know, my aunt super paranoid about the virus. Not as bad lately. She's been a little bit more relaxed. But just in general, we had like a debate saying, and she was going at me saying that I was selfish for not wearing a mask. And I said, I don't think so. If you're really that scared, stay home. So for me, I hear so much about viruses. I hear so much about building up immunities. And on one hand, I think about building up immunities. I think we have probably some of the best immunities because we're constantly at gyms and in places that are probably not sterilized or sanitized very well,
Ever.
if not at all.
Yeah.
I remember actually off topic, but when I first started training at Bev's, I said to myself, I'm booking a dermatologist appointment today because I'm going to pick something up. I'm going to get something. Like my skin will have some type of rash and my body can fight it, but it's true. We're bombarded.
Yeah. And you know, I don't care because I like, it's going to sound weird, but I like dirtier gyms. I like grungier, get in, hit the grit gyms. I don't know. It puts me in some type of a mindset to just go in there, fuck shit up and leave. So our immunities are probably great. To a degree, I guess. And you start thinking about the virus as a whole. Now, I want you to talk about all of this, obviously, and I'm kind of dragging this on a little bit because I want to get to one point before I let you speak. I've heard mixed things about how this virus acts. Now, I've heard that it acts as a lung virus and disease. I've heard that it's a blood disorder now and a blood disease, which is what was causing clotting in the lungs. I truly don't think anybody knows what is going on.
It is a form of SARS virus, which we've seen, which is pretty interesting. And clinically, I have been testing everybody that's been coming to the office. We've been open the whole time. I have yet to see an antibody test that was positive. I have nobody that's been exposed in my world. The thing about viruses that are very interesting is they're always in us. So we pick them up. There's no cure for them. And so they're talking about this whole kind of vaccination process. I think that we have immunities for reasons. We have immune systems to be able to be bombarded. Think of all the things too, like just looking back in history. What have we survived, so to speak? The flu, Ebola, the Black Plague, yellow fever,
Spanish flu.
Yeah.
Every year almost. And if you're listening to this, I'm huge into conspiracy theories. I think there's a lot going on politically that we're not aware of. That's just my personal opinion. Is the virus real? Yes, I do believe so. And it is a different strain. So I think what's happening is that we don't know enough about it. And I think that's for everybody, no matter what field you're in, as a medical doctor or not a medical provider, things change. And that's the interesting part of viruses is they always mutate. So you never really know this thing acts like this thing. No, it's like a cloud in the sky. You're watching it and it starts off as something and then it's moving. It looks so different.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. So I don't think we know enough about it. But back to your question with the masks, if you can smell perfume, which all of us can, I've been wearing my mask and I'm like, I smell so-and-so's perfume. I smell someone's cooking. Particles are so small. You're breathing them in. I think that they had to do something. And I think looking back at how everything was handled, it was mass chaos. And it was like, just do something to make the people feel something. Like put the masks on, put something on, like just roll it out. I don't think it does anything. And I would not be surprised fast forward time if they're like, those masks did nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In fact, they caught it in there and they were breathing in all day.
Yes.
You could have walked past, let's just say, a cloud of it. But then what happened? You got particles caught right in there and you're breathing it in left and right all day.
Yes. People were doing funny things too. I'm sure everyone's heard about this, but people were reusing masks. They were spraying them with Lysol. They were putting them in like toxic household cleaners, thinking if I spray my mask, it's clean. Now they're inhaling bleach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're spraying it with Lysol. I just think the whole thing is, especially now with it being warm out, like we need fresh air and the whole virus, it's just fear. All of it's fear,
Yeah.
false evidence appearing real. And that's really kind of what's happening in the world. Do I think it's real? Absolutely. Do I think people are sick and dying from it? Absolutely. But I think that's only a certain population of people. I don't think it's quarantined everybody. Like the amount of distress that's happened for little ones. I'm seeing like 5-year-olds in masks and the jobs. And I don't think it needed to be to that degree. I just don't personally.
I was talking to Derlin today because I
yeah?
went to Derlin. I screwed my back up yesterday. And so when I was talking to him this morning about the masks and everything like that, he just said, he's like, I'm not putting it over my nose. I'm not doing it. He's like, I'll put it over my mouth, like to see patients, this and that. And he told me, he's like, if you want to wear it, you can. If you don't wear it. Like it is what it is. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, I'm not going to wear it because I can't breathe. And I keep adjusting the damn thing. And it keeps going up and down my face and I keep touching my face. So there's no point for the mask at this point. So we're talking about it and he said, they're starting to require his little boys to wear them at sports practices. I said, are people out of their goddamn minds?
Yeah, they are.
I can't breathe. Yeah. When I hit I'll never forget, like dead of summer, when I'm training hard at Bev's and I'm hitting like a 200-pound dumbbell for a row for like a set of 6 or something like that. My top set, and I can barely breathe to begin with.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a mask on. I feel like I don't get enough oxygen as it is, and now I'm going to put a mask on. I'm going to pass out in the gym. How many people do you think are going to pass out from lack of oxygen?
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
It's already happened with people driving.
It's warm. What is it today? 87 degrees out? Mm-hmm. And we're in June.
Yeah.
We're not even like the hottest months that are coming. So I think it's such, a violation of our rights to be forced to do things. That's a different level to it. I don't know how you guys feel or anyone listening, but it's like to force us to do things. And there's a lot of people out there right now about vaccinations, like forcing children and people to be vaccinated before they go back to anything. Like, how could you do that?
Yeah.
What's what they were saying about the gyms now is, the gyms, they took us out of phase 4.
I saw that. How many phases are there?
There was only supposed to be 4.
They said there's only going to be 4. Like, we're not taking another phase. We're just going to let you know, basically, gyms, movie theaters, and malls. We'll just let you know when you're allowed to open. What the fuck do you mean you're going to let us know?
Yeah.
What drove me crazy about that was I saw it on Noah Siege's.
Okay.
I saw it on his post, and that's what they said. We're currently studying malls, gyms, and theaters, and we'll make a decision. Studying what? They're all fucking closed. There's nothing to study.
Nothing there.
There's nothing to study. What are you
Yeah.
sitting there with a particle gun? Like, oh yeah, there's a lot of shit in here. What are they talking about? And
a lot of dust.
And then the argument that drives me crazy that I read. God, I hate our governor and mayor. But the articles that I read was them basically saying that it's the AC units that they have a problem with. That's why they're not opening gyms.
Well, then bring fans. I'll bring a fan for everybody. Everyone bring your fans. Gyms are open.
That's the argument. But at the same time, what about Target? What about Stop and Shop? Mm-hmm. What about the liquor store?
Yep.
What about everywhere else that now restaurants are open? What about all these other places? Do you think that they just like have like fanboys at the front that are just blowing crisp, clean air at everybody? Right. No, they're using AC units.
If Arnold was our governor, we would be back in the gyms. That would be the only thing allowed open.
Everything else would have been closed. Liquor stores closed. That is it. You have to get the pump. Yeah, it's just wild to me that we're still sitting here
know.
fighting this. So there was a big article that I think I sent it to you, or you already signed it and you posted it.
Oh,
There was
yeah,
like this
those
article
petition
that's
articles.
the petition that says that everyone's getting in front of Cuomo and saying enough's enough.
Oh,
man.
I've signed that. Yeah, I've seen
I
that on
s-
people's
I signed it.
Facebooks. I signed it.
I signed it too. I have friends that aren't even gym goers that signed it because it's just they know it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I have other people that are just like, no, it's too soon. It's help save my kids. It's too soon. What do you mean it's too soon? Are you really making that much cash? You could just sit at home on your ass all goddamn
See,
day.
problem is the people saying that they're making more money sitting on their ass with the unemployment than they are actually going to work.
A lot of these people are Midwestern people though that I've seen a lot on the Facebook groups. I told you last time I had to put limits on my Facebook usage because I was going crazy.
That's a mess.
I don't know if you guys have been even seeing this too, a little off topic, but they're banning so much stuff.
Yeah.
They're banning
crazy.
things
Because they're considering it fake.
It's so crazy. I saw Dave Asprey. I'm a big Dave Asprey fan, and he was like blocked from something, and he posted that he got blocked, and he's like, subscribe obviously to my newsletter, but everything about like holistic remedies or using vitamin D for supplementation, they're blocking. Like the censorship, it's as if like people, I'm calling them sheeple. I'm calling it sheeple. Like
Yes.
we're
Mhm.
sheeps.
Yes.
We're just like, okay.
Following along.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're losing our rights. Like we're losing our voice. The voice and Rizzles. Okay.
There you go.
losing
We're trying
our-
to we're trying to restore it.
we're trying to restore the voice. So I don't know. There's so much around it. It's so hard to like filter through what is real, what's not real, and how do we navigate. And I don't know that there's a right way, but I don't think the right thing is to keep healthy people quarantined and not living their lives. That's worse.
No.
It can't be.
You know, the craziest thing is, I figure it's all coming from scientists and the governors, right, and the government. But the media is what's really blowing it up.
Mm.
And then the media hypes everybody else up. They hype up the government, and they're like, well, fuck, we got to do something. So if the media calm down a little bit, go, hold on, maybe I won't try to profit off a pandemic and everybody's fear and death, then things might get back to normal a lot quicker.
Yeah. I haven't
know?
watched TV once. The only way I know what's going on through this, I literally have watched TV maybe once.
Mhm.
It's just on Google. I go on Google and it tells you like what's going on in the world. No news. Like, what is it going to do besides create just havoc?
Just
in
listening
you?
to listening to Cuomo's monotone reprimandatory voice.
And the this. He does the this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the I'm holier than everyone else. See what I posted was that this Buddy hasn't missed a single gym session. Buddy hasn't missed a tan, and he definitely hasn't missed a haircut this entire quarantine.
No.
So I don't know who the fuck you're talking to, telling me what I should and should not be doing.
Yeah.
And his beard, every time he gets on TV, totally shaved. You think he's shaving his own beard? Hell no. His barber's doing it. You think he's wearing a mask when he gets a haircut like everyone else is supposed to be? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
He's not doing that shit.
Well, they even said barbers can't do your beard because you got to have a mask on.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
the fuck?
he definitely is getting his beard done
Yeah,
by
of
his
course.
barber. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Ask him, Cuomo, how are you getting your haircuts? I actually was in Port Jeff. They have a giant banner that says impeach Cuomo.
Yeah.
A giant
it's like an ice cream place, right?
It's right over the ice
Yeah.
cream place.
Yeah.
And people, I think by water towns, people are like, we love like water, fresh air. Like they live by those
Mm-hmm.
towns. They appreciate nature. Some of these towns, even by me, like it's just like whatever. They
Yeah.
just want to do what feels comfortable for them and
If you're scared, stay home.
stay home.
Yeah.
So my the guy that I worked with, a good friend of mine who we'll eventually have on the podcast as well, James Valcrcell, super smart dude. He's down in Florida.
Mhm.
He's a functional medicine kind of guy and does a
Yeah.
lot of different stuff. So I was talking to him. We were talking just nonstop about how lunacy everything is going on. And he said, I had a guy get it that I know. Had a guy get the virus. I said, you did? He says, yeah, 30,000 IUs of vitamin D. He says, 85 milligrams of zinc, infrared sauna. He goes, he was good in 5 days.
I believe it.
Yeah.
It's almost as if like there's a huge divide in many different ways. It's almost bringing about like the two types of people. Like you're either of the kind of person that you want pharmaceutical drugs, you want the quick fix, you want to just live your life that way and listen to the vaccines and follow your vaccine schedule, or you're into this realm of like, I'm into fitness, I'm into holistic health, I'm into functional medicine, I'm interested in supplementation, I'm interested in like natural ways, I exercise, I sleep, I'm tracking. Like it's two people.
Yeah.
You are either one or the other, and it's the mindset around that I think it's really segregation right now, that people are really feeling that difference. You're either like the World Health Organization or like,
Ugh.
I don't know, whoever the functional medicine people are, but either or.
The rainforest people.
You're either like a hippie rainforester or you're like a CDC, like, I don't know.
Stick
what
up
you
their
call
ass.
it. Yeah.
It's just I don't know why. So I know I said it last time. I don't know why the government and everybody can't just go, hey, listen, we don't know what's going on. We're trying to figure it out as things go by,
Yeah.
as the day goes by. Here's a real live number of what everything looks like. Not a inflated number, because even John Meadows posted the other day. John Meadows posted an article that says they're combining the antibody test positive results with positive coronavirus results. How the fuck are you going to do that?
And
Yeah.
suddenly the
How are you
numbers
gonna do that?
tripled. Yeah.
Well, I heard something too, and obviously we're all hearing something of something. Like we could sit here for hours talking about what we heard, but I did hear from people that if you were, and this is from people that are in the medical field, in hospitals, that if you died, if someone passed away during the pandemic, you could put COVID without really testing them, and there's funding that they get for
Yes.
that. You're going to get
I heard the
funding
same thing
for that.
They get
from a
like
lot of people.
$19,000, something like that, instead of like a
Of course
normal
they're gonna
15
put
or something
it.
like that. I don't even know.
I know a couple people, I believe they were testing them at least, though. Somebody died in a car accident. So he got to the hospital. He was maimed. And what they do, they tested him for COVID. The nurse is like, are you fucking kidding me? What are you doing? Tested positive for COVID. It's a COVID death. You sure that's what did it?
Yeah, right. Are you sure that's what took this
It wasn't
gentleman out?
hitting the tree at 90 miles an hour.
No.
Crazy. But I do agree with that, with the gentleman that you're saying in Florida with the high therapeutic dose vitamin D, zinc. It's all immune
I've been
stuff
taking
that supports-
10,000. I've been taking about 10,000 a
You
day.
can,
Yeah.
and you don't get enough in blood work. I do blood work. Everybody that comes to my office gets very comprehensive blood work, like very comprehensive, full hormones, testosterone, DHT, all 3 versions of estrogen. They get the full workup. And it's never high enough in their bloodstream for vitamin D, ever. The range is about 30 to 100. People think I'm in the sun. It's the summer. I just got back from a trip, maybe not now this year, but they're sitting at 30 units. We burn it. If you're stressed out, you're burning vitamin D. So therapeutically dosing, it's perfect for this.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So what would you say is a solid number to be dosing, just as a general, not even virus-wise?
Yeah, I would say 10,000 IUs a day with food. So 10,000 IUs is a good enough dose. You do want to make sure it's with vitamin K. If anyone wants a little bit of recommendations, I could of course connect them with like the right therapeutic stuff. You want professional grade stuff, because people sometimes say, "What should I take?" I can't speak for stuff you're buying off the shelf. I can speak for what I find in your labs when we start, and we put you on that stuff, and then we make sure that it's working for you.
Yeah. So you do a
So,
retest to just make sure.
Right.
You always have to retest. Otherwise, you're going in blind. It's like someone said this is the right thing, but there's so many cofactors. But 10,000 IUs with vitamin K, that's a nice therapeutic dose. You don't have to worry about toxicity. I know a lot of people are like, well, I know vitamin D is toxic. Hardly ever have I seen anyone even approach like 80 units.
Is that really a topic? I've never heard that before.
Yeah. So some of the vitamins that are more fat soluble, like A, D, E, K, those are more fat soluble. They are in the body, and they stay in the body if they're too high dosages, because they're stored in fat tissue, in adipose tissue. So yeah, that's definitely a true thing. But I've never seen that happen with like a 10,000 IUs, and that's kind of low. Therapeutically, sometimes they do 100,000 IUs for like a week. 10,000 IUs is good for maintenance.
And so now you do 100,000 IUs for a week. That brings your total level up for how long, would you say?
Usually just about 3 weeks.
Okay.
It's enough to kind of boost you, like if you're feeling super run down or sick, but you don't stay that high, because you will overload with that dose.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's true. Like there's so many ways, rather than kind of have people be so fearful. Why not be proactive? Why not try things that might help support their immune systems? And I think all of this right now, it's more prophylaxis, prevention. Are you in the place of being healthy so that you're not one of these, like, what are they calling it? Pre-existing condition. If you have a pre-existing condition, of course, it's survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
I hate to say it that way, but this is Darwin's thoughts. If you are sick, if you have stage 4 COPD, if you don't take care of yourself because you're eating McDonald's and binging on who knows what, of course you're going to be exposed to this and not have the capacity or the immunity to fight.
John just put up the McDonald's argument post.
What was the McDonald's argument?
What was
post?
it?
The guy that you put up, the heavyset guy, on your post, on your Facebook
Oh my,
post.
yeah. It was a picture of it was actually a reshare from somebody I knew back in college. She put up a picture of an obese dog, or somebody's getting rid of him because he wasn't active anymore, or whatever it was.
I mean, this was an obese dog.
Oh my God.
It
looked
was
like-
a
he looked like
dachshund that looked like a
He
watermelon.
looked like a beach ball.
That's
yeah.
so
Yeah.
sad.
Like,
And then
yeah.
there was a picture of a really overweight, obese guy next to it. So I put up a thing, I'm like, basically saying, fuck your body positivity, whatever it happens to be, it happens to be. If you're fat, I don't like calling somebody fat because you're more than a pile of fat. However, you're probably obese, and that's a medical condition.
Yes.
Now, you can rant and rave all you want saying, look, I'm healthy, I feel great, but get the blood work. let's really see how healthy you are.
It's so true. And I think there's this like stigma of we can't fat shame or we can't say that word fat, but medically it's called fat. So fat tissue, it's called adipose, but it's fat tissue. And that's very true that when you have more fat tissue, when someone's gaining weight, even like 5, 10, 15 pounds, you actually have those adipose cells grow. And what happens is they start to produce what's called cytokines and prostaglandins, which are inflammatory cells. When you test someone in their blood work, you can look for that. And so sometimes I run into that same kind of thought process where someone says, well, I'm overweight and my doctor wants me to lose weight, but I feel fine. No one feels a heart attack. They don't say, I think in this present moment, as I'm sitting in the space, my heart attack is happening. We don't feel disease. So it's so critical that, we have to talk about it. And I know that it's like, we can't say the word fat. Like, we can't talk about who needs to lose weight, but we have to because it's health.
Which is bullshit because it is what it is. Everyone needs to grow a little thicker skin in general, just across the nation. I think everyone needs to just be a little tougher about everything, and that's one of them. Like when I was in, I want you to say that. When I was in 10th grade and I was 270 pounds, I was fat. Like there's no event. There's no he was big boned. He was husky. No. I was fat. Husky. Yeah, basically, I was fat and I needed to lose weight, and no one was going to help me but me. So I made the decision to do it by myself, and I learned what carbs, fats, proteins were, and I lost the weight. If I can do it, anybody can do it. There's no secret recipe. Eat less and eat better foods and exercise more. That is the huge age-old mystery of how to lose weight and get in shape. It's not that serious. So if somebody says that you're a little bit overweight and this and that, I have relatives that I can't talk to, openly about it because they get upset and this and that. I'm just like, guys, it is what it is. Like, you don't feel great right now. You don't look good right now. Change it.
Exactly.
Be the change.
Tony Robbins talks about that. So I'm a huge Tony Robbins fan, and he talks about you're not big boned. He's very to the point.
Yeah.
If you're big boned, then guess what? You've just made it like a larger problem that you don't have control over. So it's an excuse. My bones are big, so that's why I'm this way. That's not true. Your bones are the same size.
You ever see the X-ray? The X-ray comparison?
Yes,
and how about this? Yes. They're saying they're big bone. There's no bones in your stomach. There's your spine.
There are no bones.
That's it.
From a medical professional, he's correct. There are no bones.
There's no bones there. I'm big boned. Your stomach's hitting the wall. The fuck you mean?
So I want to actually ask you guys something. So tell me a little bit, what have you guys been finding to be the biggest struggle with whether it's fitness or food or just being healthy? What's something that you're I feel like I'm kind of falling a little off with this or I'm slacking with this? Obviously, I know we're not working out.
Of course. One thing I just want to touch on what we were saying before, though, is when I have a really heavyweight client come to me for the first time, they always say, I feel okay, I feel good, but I try to explain to them, I go, you think you feel good, right? But you don't understand what feeling good means anymore because you've woken up feeling shitty for so long that a really bad day now is bad to you, but feeling regular shitty just feels okay. I always try to explain. I'm like, look, give me 6 months. Let's see what happens. And you're going to begin to realize that 6 months from now, when you're down X amount of pounds, you're eating better, your hormones are more stable. You're going to start to realize that your shittiest day now, when you're a little bit healthier, was better than your best day when you came in here.
It's so true. And for any females too, this is on topic, but having extra adipose, and for men too, I shouldn't just say females, it does cause higher estrogen in the body because in adipose is where we store some of those compounds. So a lot of women that I work with, they might be dealing with what's called polycystic ovarian syndrome, or they have too much estrogen. And in the female body, too much estrogen. In both bodies, there's hormones that should be specific in specific numbers. So too much estrogen, although women have it, it's not healthy. Too much testosterone in the male, it's not healthy, vice versa. So that is so true what you're saying about, it's not just weight. The weight that we have on our body, it's directly connected to the hormone systems in our body, and it changes the entire hormone cascade. And for women, painful periods, breast tenderness, all that stuff, it's usually estrogen dominance from being a little bit heavier, or fibrocystic breast disease. It's an estrogen dominance. Cancers, a lot of breast cancers are estrogen dominant. So it's not just I'm a little overweight and I don't want to talk about it. We have to really focus on being brutally honest, with ourselves, really what it is.
Being realistic.
being
Yeah.
realistic. It is what it is, you
Yeah.
know, and that's okay. It's not, no one's shaming someone for what it is, but be honest where you are and then think about the structure or work with someone that can help to guide you to not be that
Yeah.
way.
On a hormonal level, I know a lot of my clients when they start to lose weight, and I'm sure you've seen it a million times, what happens? Their cycles regulate. They've been all over the place, or they stop having it. Now they're totally regulated. And then when it comes to men, you know, people say they're trying to figure out why men nowadays, a lot of them have low T. It's because of the things you're putting in your body. You're putting in this food that's, first of all, making you very out of shape, and all that extra fat is going to produce more estrogen. But besides that, the processing portion of actually making the food, all the chemicals that go into it, that certainly doesn't help your hormonal levels either.
No, liver health. When we talk
Yeah.
about that stuff, liver health. So we have phase 1, 2, and 3 liver detox. Liver is an organ that's literally getting rid of stuff from everything, not just what we eat, what we breathe in, what we consume from, even just drinks, everything, pharmaceuticals, Tylenol, everything we put in our body, the liver looks at. And it's basically helping us to gain weight. Some women say, I literally am sitting down to a plate of ice cubes and I'm drinking water and I'm not losing weight because there's other hormones. There's thyroid related things going on. There's liver stuff. But to speak to your point, that's very true, that it's not just what you eat, it's what's in the food that you're consuming as well, because that can affect your lymphatic, which is the waste systems. Those get blocked.
Yeah. You know, something I do with a lot of my people, at least when they want to just start, they don't want a strict program, obviously, I call it the one diet, where if there's more than one ingredient, don't eat it. You know, evolutionarily speaking, we were made to break down whole foods. We were made to break down red dye 3 and orange, blue, green 6, you know, all these different dyes and colors.
It's like football numbers. Blue 42.
Yeah.
It's a football play. Not supposed to be in your food.
Exactly. All this crap. So just getting somebody on a diet of just simply real food.
Love it.
You know what I mean? Just to segue them into that where they start to feel a little bit better. Then you can tweak and make it a little bit more, okay, well, you know what? Try to eat this then and this then and this pre-workout, etc. But the one diet, just getting somebody eating regular food, real food again, not chemicals.
I know. And I think, Nick, you're right that like everyone's like, what's the secret? Like, can you tell me what okay, all right. I need to know. Like, can you just tell me what you do? And it's like, there's really nothing that's.
It's a combination of a lot of things.
It's a lifestyle.
and staying the course. Like my cousin, I'm gonna help him lose weight for his wedding. So his wedding was originally supposed to be this year, and obviously everything that happened, we were either gonna push it off till September or October. I said, nah, just do it next year, because if you do it this year, God forbid someone at the party gets sick. Then that's what we're going to be remembering, not the actual wedding. We're going to be remembering how everybody got sick because one person came with the virus. It's just exhausting. I said, wait till next year, until this dies down, and we don't have to really worry about it as much. Hopefully, that's what we're going to be dealing with next year. I'm praying. But anyway, I'm going to be helping him lose some weight, and I just told him, I'm like, listen, man, gotta keep it simple, and you gotta be. He's like, well, I want to keep drinking on the weekends. I'm like, okay, you could do that. But like, if you're going to be working out hard with me, a couple days a week at least, and you're going to be eating well, I said, the drinking isn't going to help you. Like, you don't train consistently. Maybe he'll train 3 days a week with me. That plus like decent eating and then drinking a ton on the weekends, that's not going to do anything. I said, you have tons of time now. Start now. And then make the small changes, like stop drinking as much right now for the next month. And then after that, maybe cut out sugar. And then after that, so by the time December comes around, you still have 7 months to finish getting ready. And you're like 10 years ahead of where you would be if you started in December.
Yeah.
So it's tough because I know how to lose weight. I know how to get shredded. I do. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it a lot of the time.
The mindset has to be there too. Like, you really have to be ready to make. It's a commitment. It's not like I'm going to be passive about it. It's such an active thing to get healthy. It's super, super active, whether it's the fitness piece, the sleep piece. You have to do it. But I agree with that. And I think that, we don't realize like what you were saying, John, about we don't know how bad we feel until we feel good. And sometimes that's a motivating factor. With your cousin, maybe he's thinking, well, I want to still do this. When he feels better without it, he might say, forget that. I didn't realize that this is what I should be feeling like. This is what I was made to feel like.
I did a workout with him yesterday, and it was, I've been doing a lot. I know John hates me for it, but I've been doing a lot of CrossFit type stuff.
Kettlebell swings?
Those are okay, but that's about the line right there.
It was. Let me tell you, this dude Josh Bridges. I don't know if you know him.
No, I don't.
He's
know.
like one of the top guys in the CrossFit world. I like him because he was a Marine. He went into the Marines, and then after that, he got into CrossFit. Super humble dude, super strong. Really, he's more of like he does a lot of bodybuilder stuff, but at the same time, his endurance and cardio aspect of lifting CrossFit style is insane. Like what he does every day, he comes out with a new workout that he did for the day. Posted on his Instagram. So I did it with Tyler early in the week. Let me tell you, we were gasping. We couldn't even breathe. So the workout was something like 20 thrusters, and then you go into 20 sit-ups, and then you do 20 calories on the Echo bike, which I don't have, but I ordered one, and it comes tomorrow.
Sounds like, okay, this podcast is now over.
So thanks for tuning in.
And goodbye. We've got a CrossFit. I'm just kidding. CrossFit's very difficult.
The Echo bike is sick. That's that one where you move with the arms too, the fan.
Yeah.
So I ordered one of those because I wanted to be able to do like just quick hit cardio in the morning anyway. And as a natural athlete, when I was getting ready for my shows, my coach told me, HIIT is the way to do it, man. He's like, just get your HIIT in, be done. You don't have to do long, steady state. He's like, then you can go lift and do whatever you want. So I figured getting the bike would be good because I like bikes anyway. And then that'll just totally crush me. So it was 20 thrusters, 20 sit-ups, 20 calories on the Echo bike, 20 strict pull-ups, and then it was back to the then it was back to the Echo bike, then it was back to the sit-ups, then it was back to the
like a pyramid, like an
up and then back down. 3 rounds. I'm telling you,
it's hard.
By the second round, Tyler and I were gasping. So I put my cousin through it yesterday. By like the end of the first round, start of the second one, he's like, I'm gonna have a heart attack. I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack. He's like, I can't believe how hard this. I said, you used to play baseball. Like you were in great shape for a long time. Now you kind of can gauge how you are way off where you need to be. Because and I showed him his heart rate with my Apple Watch. I said, just on your recovery time alone, we were sitting still for like 15 minutes after the workout and he was still at like 115 beats a minute. Oof. I was like, you got to like learn that that's not great for your ticker, man. Like you need a better resting heart rate. You need to be able to get that cardio up. He's like, well, I run 4 miles every other day. And then I go, yeah, but like, do you run 4 miles? Or are you like puffing along at 4 miles? Like, are you dragging your feet?
Yeah, what does that mean?
There's a difference.
Yeah. Huge difference.
A Navy SEAL runs 4 miles. That dude's running 4 miles in like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. You run 4 miles. You taking an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Like a good job.
I'll never forget my boy Gabe. If he listens to the podcast in and out sometimes, so if he hears this, he might get super pissed at me, but I don't care. He told Tyler and I one time, he goes, yo guys, he's like, I'm gonna go run a mile before I start my workout. He's like, so I won't be around for about 45 minutes, so hit me up after that. I go, 45 minutes for a mile run? Oh my God, bro.
I think I used to do it in like 6:45 when I was younger.
Tyler, I just didn't even say anything. I just messaged him outside the group chat. I said, did he just say he's going to be gone for 45 minutes for a mile run? Where's he going?
He's going half a mile to dinner and he's coming back.
But I think you have to start somewhere. I think that, you have to start somewhere and you can't feel bad about where that somewhere is. Just recognize what it is and make the change.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to start. Like, I got all the stuff now. Now I'm waiting for the rack still.
Where did you get stuff? I feel like I haven't been able. Well, luckily, my boyfriend has a gym in his basement.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is nice. So I've been working out there. But when this first happened, I was trying to get some weights and everything was sold out.
So
everything.
So I don't want to put it out there too much because I'm trying to keep the secrets to me.
The dumbbells for yourself.
So basically, I looked at a bunch of different sites. I like Rogue. Rogue makes top-notch shit. I mean, their shipping prices are great. I hit up Elite FTS because I know some guys through Meadows, and I asked them what they could do to get me a rack, this and that. The issue with Elite FTS was they don't have their shipping down correctly. And I know maybe if somebody from there says something differently, but what they do is they partially assemble the rack, and then they ship it out. So it's freight. So it winds up being $600-$700 just to ship a rack.
Forget that.
Rogue's $200 because you have to assemble it when it gets to you.
Yeah.
I'll assemble it. It's fine with me.
You know what's funny is half the time, if they have something pre-assembled, you're probably going to have to take it apart a bit to fit it through the door.
Oh, definitely. In my garage,
you know what I mean?
So
I'm saying for the people not putting it in a garage.
oh
They put it
yeah,
in the house. You got to take it all apart anyway.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I was looking on Rogue's website, and I was like, well, do I get just a squat stand? And I was looking at the squat stand. They were about $400 or $500. I'm like, all right. I said, nah. What if I want to do floor presses, or I want to be able to do banded stuff? Because I do have bands, and I used to train like that all the time, mountain dog stuff. So I said, what if I want to do bands down the line? So I said, all right, let me look at the racks. Then they had the Monster Light racks. They were okay. Just for a couple $100 more, you can get the 11 gauge steel, and it's just a better build. And the going terminology with everybody in the home gym community, because I'm on the Reddit home gym now, and
Everyone's got home gyms.
I'm talking to everybody. Buy once, cry once. That's it. So I said, screw it. So I got the Rogue Monster 3. So it's their big rack, but it's not as deep because I don't really need it that deep. So I got that. It's got band pegs on it. I got it in the custom red color. Love it. So that hasn't actually even been made yet. So I'm still watching that order, waiting for it to be made. So then I'm like, all right, now I got to find plates. Plates are the hardest thing to find right now. So I'm looking around. Vulcan Strength is somebody. I know I'm not going to be doing CrossFit movements, so I don't really need bumpers. Fringe Sports is another one.
Doesn't Rogue have plates?
They do, but every time they come in stock, they're sold out within 5 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
So I was looking around. Finally, one day, Rogue had their calibrated plates, steel calibrated powerlifting plates in stock.
Oh.
So I said, fuck it.
What weight?
45 pounds. So I got
Great.
8
Good.
45-pound plates. But now I would like to get one pair of 35s, and I'd like to get some 5s, just this way I could do some like smaller stuff, smaller weight jumps, instead of it just being, all right, 135, now 225, now it's 315.
Just grab one pair of quarters and a pair of tens. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Because that'll be the difference weight in anything you're using.
Yeah, I have a pair of 10s. I'm sorry, I have 2 pairs of 10s, and I have a pair of 25s.
Done. That's all you need.
I'd like to get a 5, just a little 5 ski.
Yeah.
What I've seen people doing is people are renting out weights. I know that sounds strange, but there's a gentleman that has a CrossFit facility, and he's just renting out like for the day or even for the week.
Because
Like
they can't use the gym anyway.
Yeah, he's like, I've got some equipment. Come pick it up, cash, like pay me for it. They bring it back, they clean it down, and they're just renting out weights for people that
That's
maybe
smart.
don't have the space for it in the future. They don't really, just want them for the forever. But yeah, there's so many ways to do it, and it's so funny because I love how everyone's been pivoting. I love that. I love hearing like, what are we all doing to make it happen? I've been doing the most random things, and we just make it work.
Well,
The commitment is there.
Yeah, me doing a kettlebell squat yesterday. And
That's what I'm saying.
throw my
Like I'm
fucking,
hearing Nick.
throw my fucking back out. I'm like, I could deadlift 405, but a kettlebell squat throws me out of commission.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so there's a thing called a stock bot, and what that is, and I'll share it with you guys.
I'm thinking
I know you don't
squatty
need it,
potty.
but
Yeah.
no. I have a squatty potty too.
I'm thinking squatty
Phenomenal,
potties.
phenomenal piece of engineering. But so the stock bot, essentially what it is you type in. So this guy created through Facebook Messenger. He created this bot that essentially monitors Rogue's website for stock.
Ooh.
So essentially what you do is you type in the piece of equipment that you want, and it constantly searches for you in the background. So all of a sudden you'll get a ding, and it'll just tell you,
It's ready for you.
this is in stock, you should buy it now. Like, so I did that for the Echo bike because the bikes were coming in and going out so quick. So I did that for the bike. I don't really need anything else at this point. The rack's going to be coming. I may need to get like another horse stall mat for the garage. Let me say something, because this really hit me with a hit me right in the anger button this morning. I bought a jump rope from American Barbell. Okay? Yeah, American Barbell. I bought a jump rope from American Barbell. Great jump rope. Loved it. However, after 5 uses, it has split at the bottom, and the metal coil is coming out. And it hit me like 3 times in the leg the other day. I was like, oh wow, this thing's split open. Called them. I messaged them. The guy's like, oh, no problem. Shoot me pictures of the thing. But how have you been using it? Told him. I said, yeah, I used it a couple times indoors. Used it outside
What
on
does
the
he
track.
think you're doing with the jump
Yeah.
rope? Like,
You're right,
how
you're-
many ways can you
You ready for this
use
shit?
the
And he goes, oh, dude, I totally understand. I see the picture that you sent. However, because you used it outside, that voids our warranty. Where the fuck do you want me to use it?
It's a jump rope.
It's a jump rope. He's
Yeah.
like, you can't use it on concrete. It voids the warranty because it's going to split. Really?
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, wow is right.
Fuck
Because
that.
they use my pictures on their website for their dumbbells with Joey Gaines. So you can believe who's telling them to take those pictures down.
I want my rights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't take my
Here, you can use the one of the split jump rope.
Yeah, you can use that one, and I'm gonna blast that out everywhere. I could not stand that.
That's not right.
In
Fuck
times
that.
like this, that's really what you're gonna do. You're gonna nitpick me over a $15 jump rope.
Yeah, that's just bad customer service.
I'm like, come on, guys, what are we doing over here? And Rogue is phenomenal. I mean, Rogue, one of the plates, one of the calibrated plates, the paint was chipped on the back of it. And I just said, listen, man, I get it. I'm going to use these. They're going to get scratched up. They're steel plates to begin with.
Yeah.
I said, but I bought brand new plates. I paid brand new plate money. I don't want them to look like they're used. They gave me back $150.
Great.
They're good people over there.
I was like, sick.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
I see a lot of people that have like at home stuff, or even in gyms, they use that stuff. I know my gym, they have a whole section of like Rogue stuff. So it's good quality.
Yeah. I mean, and that's really what I want. I mean, if I'm going to buy something, because listen, when Bev's opens up, I don't know if I'm going to go back there day one, but I'll be back.
When do we think gyms are open? Let's hedge bets.
Oh, God. I mean, John has. Well, listen, when they first shut down, I don't know who I spoke to. I spoke to a bunch of my inner circle. I said, yo, these are not opening until July, August.
I'm thinking September.
Yeah.
I'm thinking September too. I'm hoping September.
Oh, God. That is so.
And what sucks, like, now it's not going to open like, sure, go have fun. It's going to be make an appointment, wear your mask.
Fully regulated.
Yeah.
Just. You saw that. You saw that on my story. I don't know if you saw that. A SoCal gym, Southern California gym, has members in separate cubes, little boxes.
Although what's funny is
what happens when the next person goes in there? You're really spraying it down that efficiently to be cleaning that whole area.
Yeah.
Come on, what are we
Honestly,
doing?
I think that what's going to happen is it's going to be a slow, like a soft opening. Maybe like 5 people, or depending on the size of the gym, every hour. Like 11 o'clock, book your appointment. You are here for 1 hour, and then clean. 15-minute window to clean. Have a cleaning staff. I don't know, but it's crazy. it's crazy.
What's nuts is a lot of these, like obviously the gyms that have been clearing bankruptcy lately, because gyms don't make that much money.
What about the gym? I saw there's a gym in here.
Yeah, I've been talking to him. It's been tough.
Life or something, or
Lift. Yeah, it's a nice little spot. He's got really good equipment, but you know he's been out in the water too. He's been training clients every now and then in the parking lot. So it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
There you
Can't
go.
do anything.
There's the picture.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's gonna be the new norm. You ready for that, Elyse?
The guy looks so happy though. He's loving it.
Yeah, he's
he
amped.
looks so great.
He's
like
so amped.
Inspire Gain Pods. Reopening our gym is not an easy task. We're prepared to increase the safety for all our members. They build basically pods. They're pod people. We're pod people.
It's stupid. It's stupid. How am I supposed to have conversations and tell somebody, yo, good set, you look good over there, baby? Like, how am I supposed to tell Max Charles, goddamn, you big?
You know what I think we should do? I have an idea.
Tell me.
Shoot.
Idea. Serious idea. Why don't we find a space, like a big outdoor space? Actually, I know the space. There's a park in my town in Seacliff that's it's a big baseball field, and everybody brings something. You bring something to the workout. You bring your kettlebells. You bring something that you have at home, your jump ropes.
My broken jump ropes.
Bring your broken jump rope. We can use it on the concrete. And then we do like a fitness workout, but we could be spaced. Like, how could they stop that? It's groups, but they're all social distancing. It's a lot of people.
Well, evidently,
and you charge for it.
Well, evidently you're allowed to protest, but you can't open up a gym. You can have 100 people doing crazy shit outside, but you can't.
What?
Yeah, well, the protesting's fine. Protesting's fine, but we're talking more along the lines of the rioting when we say stuff like this.
All right, then we need protest. All of my gym members out there, let's protest.
Let's have a fitness protest.
That's what everyone's been saying. I'm in that group. Are you in that Facebook group?
I think so.
Yeah, Long Island gym owners and everything like that.
Yes.
They invited me in. I
Yes.
was like, I don't own a gym, but
We have to do something. I feel like it's our due diligence to do something to support these people and to support our own ability to be healthy.
I think everybody should just open at the same time. What the fuck are they going to do?
Something has to happen. Like, something has to happen.
What's crazy with this is there were a couple cases where people said, fuck you, I'm opening my doors. They served them like a warrant or whatever, a fine. They took it to court, and the court's like, yeah, closing these places is illegal. He's free to do this. It's not right, but he's free to do this.
Yeah.
As long as you comply to the OSHA laws they made with social distancing, wear your mask, blah, 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 you're more than allowed to be open. But you're going to go through a lot of bullshit to get there.
So why not just do it outside, though? Why not just everybody show up to like a massive space on a Saturday morning at 12 o'clock? Everyone brings something.
That works.
And we can share stuff. And it's like a drill. Like, maybe you're at a station and you're doing your 50 kettlebell swings. The next one you're doing overhead press. Like something where you're just moving along. And even if you're in a row, like if you have a lot of people, I would be so interested to do something like that.
We could do that,
Yeah.
but I'm sure they would say something like, you can't have this many people together.
Yeah, that'd be
congregating. We'd be like, oh no, it's a protest though. You said up to 100 people.
We're protesting
No,
while we're working out.
I'm mad. Oh, okay, he's good.
Oh,
they're
he's good. He's good. He's super mad.
But the rest of you're not mad. Get out of here.
I mean, listen, even cops are just like, come on, open the fucking gyms already. It's
I think
just-
people are really starting to just feel like, you know what, we have to still live. I get it. I get that we're in a crisis. I understand that we have to be compassionate for people that have been sick and have lost loved ones. But at the same time, there is a limit on the human spirit of what we can tolerate and what we're willing to say, like we're staying home for or we're not. It's happening. There's traffic. People are like, you know what, forget this.
yeah.
You
what's
know,
going to happen in the fall and the winter? Like, is everything really going to be dragged out this
No.
long?
I hope not.
No.
You don't
Something
think
I
so?
say, it's people saying well, you got to be compassionate about the people who passed away, and absolutely. And then people say, well, your money isn't worth their life, and sure you can argue that either way, but I get it. A life is valueless. I said that wrong. What was
Yes.
it? Yeah.
A life is
I get it.
valuable.
It's valuable, but it's valueless in the sense there's no price to it.
Yes.
Yeah, I meant it that way.
I got it.
I'd hope. Most of you. But what do you call it? Whose life is worth more, as bad as it sounds? Is it the person who lived the whole unhealthy life and got themselves sick? Or is it the suicide rate of the people? It's ludicrously high right now. That they had to shut down the world. Their families are screwed. They're screwed. Their kids have no chance of a future anymore. They might do something they shouldn't. You know, that's the he said, she said, but
It's so hard.
they can't put blame on that, but they can put blame on the other one.
I know.
Look at Luke Sandow.
Yeah,
Luke
this
Sandow
had to
committed
do a push
suicide.
him over the edge.
I'm sure this is what pushed him over the
sure.
edge. From what I hear, it's not great in the UK. I talked to Neil Hill a lot. It's not great over there. So he's waiting to come back still. I'm waiting for him to come back. I'm like, oh my god, just get back already. Like it's insane how they're just keeping everything so locked down still. And I get why you're doing it,
Yeah.
but at the same time, something's got to give.
We just have to keep doing what we're doing. Like, you're doing the right thing. You're ordering the stuff that you're doing. You're still working out. Like, all we can do is what we can control. We can't control this.
Yeah.
As much
Yeah.
as it sucks, like, what can we control? We can control how we eat. We can control the thoughts we choose to think about. We can control that we're not playing into the fear. We're not going to be putting on the media and huffing and puffing. It is what it is. We will survive. We always have. That's the human condition. We will survive. Like, we will get through this, and it's just hunkering down with whatever it is. And for people that, like, you know, that own gyms, it's going to be so freaking busy. I know that. I know it doesn't seem like that right now, but when things open up, everyone's dying. I went to TJ Maxx. You wouldn't believe the line. We're dying to consume. We're dying to get back to life.
Yeah.
I went to go to Stop and Shop to just get Tylenol and a Red Bull before I got here. I was like, right after Derlin, I said, let me go before I get the dog
Why are you taking Tylenol?
because my back.
Uh-oh.
I can give you some natural remedies.
Anti-inflammatory. He just said he said just
She'll give you some weed.
You know, we don't sell. We have CBD oil, but there are some really good natural anti-inflammatory. Well, that's a different topic for a different day. We'll do like a supplement day where we'll talk about.
we could talk about that.
Yeah, definitely.
We can talk
Go
about
into
that.
it.
I just wanted to, but tell me after this what you would give me.
Yeah.
But I went to just stop just to get it real quick. I just wanted to get 2 Tylenol, done, be done with it. The line at Stop and Shop. Now I've gone to Stop and Shop pretty much every week, consistently since it started. But I go at night. Everything is there. Everything's in stock. I don't have to worry about shit. There's no line. I just walk right in. There's barely any people in there, and I'm done. I'm like, why are you all going the same time? Why do you all think that noon is a great time to be going to Stop and Shop right now? Like,
Yeah.
I was just going to get Tylenol.
Yeah.
But I know all of you are literally going to shop. It's just unbelievable, the lines everywhere. Yesterday, when I came here, I stopped at the office real quick. Hendrick's Tavern. Hendrick's right down the street.
Were they busy?
Packed. There was a line outside.
I was out to dinner last night at the Cove right by me. It was so crowded.
Yeah.
There was a party there. There was like tons of people, different age ranges. People are dying to consume. We're consumers by trade. So I think that if there is a business that someone has and they can just for the next however long, and I know that we don't know how long that might be, but just
That's the hard part.
I know, but we have to just have faith. We just have to have faith and make it work somehow. You know, I know. I always remember this. Like Tony Robbins, and you guys know I'm a fan now, but his goal was to make $3,000 a month. Tony Robbins, that's what he makes in like a minute. You know, so it's kind of like, how do we get through this? How do we get through these tough times? Like right now we're being challenged regardless of how you guys think about it, but like spiritually. It's not just what we put in our body. It's not just what we eat. It's not just exercise. It's what we think. And if we're thinking really fearful thoughts or that this isn't going to get better or oh my God or what's going to happen, that's toxic. That's just as toxic.
I've been having trouble the last couple of months with my
mindset.
with my own thoughts in mind, and it's just been
Right.
it's been difficult because not only can I not train, but it seems like all joyous, like I got a puppy and oh my God, puppy. It's like puppy's a lot of fucking work. And when you can't run away from the puppy for a few hours to go to the gym or to go to a store and you're just around the dog 24/7, that stresses you out. Then not having work stresses you out. I know a lot of videographers that sugarcoat it. A lot of my friends, they're like, oh, I got a job here. Like, you don't have shit, man. You are fucking at home. You don't have anything going on. And I know you don't. And even if you have like that one-off client, that's like your only thing that you got going on. You're stressed. I'm stressed. We get it. Like it's
okay right now.
It's okay.
It's really
absolutely okay.
Yeah.
And it's
for
really
people to feel that way.
It's really tough because now that we're kind of coming out of it, it's like the smoke is settling and clearing, and you're just kind of looking around at the battlefield, and you're like, "What's going on?" Especially for me, I had a lot of clients that I was on retainer for that I don't know if they're going to have the same budget to be doing that stuff with me again. So it's kind of like I'm sitting here wondering. It was very difficult at first to get into this business for myself because I was, and I've said this on earlier podcasts, I was always retail based. I was always go into your 9 to 5, salesman, you go in, you do your job, you leave. Go in, do your job, you leave. Don't worry, after Friday, you don't worry about it until Monday. Then when I got this gig and I started really honing my craft and then I created the company and I started doing this, it was very difficult to not know where the next check was coming from. And to go from a figure where you go in every 2 weeks and you get paid to, yeah, if you don't have business, that's it, man. You're done. You don't have any money coming in. So it's hard in general. And now it's even harder because no one wants to spend money. So I'm reaching out to old clients. I'm just speaking to everybody right now, just having conversations, making sure everyone's okay. Just talking about what's going on, what's to come, what do they see, what do they forecast. A lot of my big projects, I was supposed to go to LA for a bit. I was supposed to go down to Atlanta. I had a lot of big things that were coming, and now everything is on hold.
It's very
hold
true.
or canceled because who the hell knows? My boy just told me that Microsoft's shutting down all their retail stores. That's shocking. And Fairway grocery store in Plainview, they're shutting down.
I've heard that. I actually,
Really?
the office right now that I'm working for, it's right next door to Plainview, and I've heard that for so long, but I haven't seen it. They're still fully stocked, but I do get what you're saying.
Yesterday, they said yesterday that they're closing all stores.
Wow.
It is. It's a huge shift for a lot of people, and I think a lot of people are feeling like this conscious stress. We all feel it. It's not just like, when we go through our lives, it's like, well, maybe I'm the only one going through this right now. And at this point in time, that's not true. We're all in it, in the thick of it with where is that coming from? But there is a difference, I think, between the 9 to 5 mentality of being an employee versus saying, I'm going to move into more of like an entrepreneurial world and like work for myself. And it's the risks of that allow you it's like the stocks. People that play the stocks, sometimes they're super freaking risky.
Yeah.
If you're not in it, though, the risk and the reward go up.
Yeah,
So,
listen, being able to be home with the dog on some mornings and not have to get up at 8 a.m. is great. Being able to go on vacation if I want, is great. Being able to say, when we talk, when do you want to do the podcast this week? I'm like,
Whenever works.
as long as I don't have a shoot, I'm open.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I could be at the office whenever you need me to. So that's great and that's nice and that is worth it to me. But I'm a very
wanna know.
as everybody. I'm a very
Right.
money
We wanna
driven
know.
money driven
All of us.
slash I like to know what's coming.
Yes. It's the
I don't like to guess.
uncertainty. I think there's, what do they say, like 6 things that we need as humans. One of them is certainty. One of them is uncertainty. And when we're sitting in this muck of like, I don't know when it's happening or what's happening, we have to pull from somewhere of the strength. We have to remember, you do trust in yourself. You would have never done this.
Yeah.
Like here we are, Nick, in your space and John in your space, and you wouldn't have opened a gym.
Right.
There's a belief that you can do this. And right now it's being challenged. Totally. Myself included. I'm leaving a business and I'm starting my own business.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and everyone's kind of looking at me like, oh, you're starting something when there's a pandemic. You lean into it somehow and you figure it out. And I think that the gratitude component of it, you have, what's the worst, truthfully, I think about this, like what's the worst that can happen? Are we going to be without food? I don't think so. I don't think any of us will be without
no.
food. You can come eat. I'll share my food. Are we going to be without clothes? Are we literally going to be homeless on the streets? I don't think so. Maybe for some people that could be their reality, but we just have to remember we have so much. There's so much abundance, and right now it feels like it's halted, but it's going to come back. It's going to come back to us. We just have to keep knowing, like, I know this sucks. We're all in this. No one's going to go down, so to speak, in the sense of pure failure. How can we shift? Maybe something, and obviously this is turning into like a whatever it's turning into. But how do we shift? What's something that maybe you can think about that you're not doing, that you've never done, that might be like, okay. And I've done a lot of like business seminars lately. I've been like really inundating myself with how the hell do we shift with this? You have to. We have to. Otherwise, you won't survive. What are some ways that you can maybe tap into people? I don't know, but there's something to be capitalized on. Same thing with you. Maybe there's something outside. With me too. I'm thinking about like right now what I've been doing it's been so different is I'm hosting workshops. So I'm not in the office. They're all via Zoom. They're online, and I'm teaching people about thyroid dysfunction. I'm teaching people about the reasons, and they're paying. They're paying $100 to sign up, and they're getting so much value. They're learning about it, and maybe they weren't able to pay for my programs to begin with. But you know, it's a shift. I never did something like that. I would have never thought like I don't want to be online, but we have to just get creative.
Yeah. I think the hardest reality for a lot of people is entrepreneurship is probably one of the riskiest things you can do in the world.
Yeah.
And you're not even getting a fair shake at it right now.
You're not.
You know what I mean?
You're not.
That's the
But no
the
one said
harshest
it
thing
was
to
fair.
grab.
No one said it was fair. No one said it
of
was
course.
easy. No one said that you're not going to have times that you don't want to do this. And it's easier to be an employee that works at the Postal Service and goes home and then their jobs are over. That's not the lives that you guys choose. That's not myself included. That's not. I think all the time, why couldn't I do something that was so simple? Like simple.
What fun is that?
It's not who we're destined to be. It's not in our makeup.
Yeah.
It's in our makeup to say, all right, we're in the struggle. We're in the thick of it, but I made for this. I gotta shift. I gotta pivot. I gotta maybe start scaling my fee schedule a little bit different right now. Maybe I can book something with me now. You know, a deposit up front, and you know, we'll honor that price. Normally my fees are XYZ.
Yeah. You know, we're trying to take advantage as best we can. We're moving to a bigger facility soon.
Okay.
So obviously equipment's a lot cheaper, rent's gonna be a lot cheaper.
How soon?
September we're looking at.
That's right. You told me. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. If you need help moving, let me know.
I'm not touching a fucking thing.
Oh, you're having people do it for
Yeah,
you?
no, movers are coming.
Okay, I was going to say,
Gym
I'll help you out
equipment-
if you want.
Gym equipment on the second floor is the biggest bitch in the world to move.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even the weights. It's when
Like
you're
contorting yourself to get up to places.
no, it's when you're moving a Stairmaster, the Stairmaster doesn't come apart. You're moving stairs downstairs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A treadmill comes apart in two things. You get the deck, like the actual gigantic deck,
And top piece.
and the top piece. Top piece, big deal. Moving the deck with a motor in it, it's fucking heavy, it's awkward, and it takes up all the space.
I'm shocked everything fit up there.
You and me both.
Yeah,
But
that's wild.
Like you've obviously been to my place. It's like a little spiral sort of staircase to get up. So
So is that space not there anymore? You're moving entirely, or that space is also there and then you're expanding?
we're still there. We're replacing the space we have now, moving to a bigger location. But it's not done yet. So right now we're still here, not operating. And then we'll swap over to there.
Cool.
But we'll have to take the railing down or something.
yeah, you have to do something, man. That's gonna be. You guys got a lot of shit up there, man.
It's crazy.
You got a lot of shit. So are you gonna get more pieces now when you get to the new space?
Oh yeah. And they're pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, if you need hookups with Elite, I'll have them send it to you though, and I'll see if
Yeah,
maybe
appreciate it.
my guy can give you some good deals on shipping and whatnot. He's
sure.
dope over there. But
Right. So we're gonna be right behind our vets.
yeah,
I'm
Right.
looking for a Bowflex set, the ones that go in like the holders.
the
But
dumbbells.
The heavy ones, the ones that your neighbor has.
Yeah, the dumbbells.
The dumbbell with the crankers that
Yeah.
change the weight.
Yeah.
But the heavy ones.
Steal them on your way out.
His are too light. They only go up to 52.
Oh shit!
I'm not looking.
These are the
I'm
ba-
looking for them for a gift for someone, and I cannot find them. Everything is sold out.
Try to look on Reddit. You know Reddit.
Yeah, it's like a platform where people
Yeah.
talk about what.
There's a home gym section. That's where they have an in stock queue, and constantly guys and everybody just putting in both. They're putting in like Bowflex in stock, Rep Fitness in stock, Rogue in stock, and they'll
interesting.
post links so you know, and you can get the live feed. So it's like right when it comes in stock.
Yes.
This is probably the most time I've been off of it in the last like probably 48
Nick's over
hours.
here looking at his phone. It's just his updates on what he's getting. And
It
what's
is.
coming.
I swear. It is. I'm just
the equipment.
I'm trying to plan everything. I'll tell you what I find really funny. What I find really funny is like, and this isn't meant for people that I'm very good friends with, but like people that I'm friendly with, like not the best of friends, but like friendly with.
Yeah.
Amount of people that I just keep posting that I have gear coming to my garage. They're like, oh, yo, I'll see you in a couple days. I'll see you. Oh,
Charge him.
that's weird. I didn't know I had fucking invited you.
You know what? I found a lot of new friends when people know I owned a gym and they shut them all down.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, that's
Suddenly,
right. You were telling me.
Everybody was my best friend.
Why are you guys not capitalizing on this?
I mean, well, he's a little different. Me, I'll
You
run it
want to
out.
come use it? I'll come rent them. I won't be
Yeah, it
home.
makes sense
Clean
for
them
you.
down.
Yeah, for me, I might do it.
Yeah.
Depends though. I don't know who I want in my house. Who I want so close to Kenji. You know.
It's really about Kenji.
Yeah, he's
It's all about Kenji.
look at
Who will
him-
Kenji
look at him
allow?
snoozing behind you.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's so
He's
relaxed.
so cute.
He's a good boy.
He's a good
Isn't
boy.
it funny? I look at the animals now. Sometimes I'm like, they have no clue what's going on. Like they have a clue. Obviously, we're all home, but like, what
I love
it
it.
would like to be a dog in this moment of time.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
They've got the
I'd like to
life.
be
On
one, and I
cloud
wouldn't
nine.
because he and a lot of other dogs are getting super attached to the owners.
Mm.
So, I mean, for me, because I own my own business, it's easy. I can take him to the office, take him to the podcast. He hangs out. And I try to put him in the crate at least once a day. He doesn't mind it because I leave the door open to the crate all day and all night.
Yeah.
And he goes in and out. He'll sleep in the crate for a few hours. Then he'll come out and he'll lay in the hallway. But he's getting so attached that if I leave him for like 3 hours in the crate, when I open that door, he bolts and he starts making crying noises.
Oh,
And he puts my whole arm in his mouth and he's like crying, like it's almost like you left me here. I'm like, relax, dude. I can't.
You leave me again, I'll rip it off.
Yeah, I came back for you, man. You're in the AC. I wanted to be in the AC the entire time that I left. I wanted to be where you were.
Yeah.
But it's been good having a pup again.
Mm-hmm.
What's one thing that you guys would say that you like about this? Like, what's something we all have things we hate, obviously, about
Right.
the situation, but there are things that I think people are like, I love this.
So
I'm loving this.
I want to get to that question, but I want to get to your first question,
Yes.
which we kind of deviated from. We didn't
Yes.
get back to.
We're good at deviating.
Yes, that's the
We're
whole
deviators.
podcast. Our whole podcast is
That's
deviating.
the new name of the podcast.
The deviators.
Deviators. It was your last question was. What is one thing that's been a challenge?
Yes.
Right.
Mm.
So I would say in the beginning it was a combination of my mentality
Mm.
and eating. I was drinking every night, and like it would be noon, and my boys would be on Xbox, and I would just grab a thing of whiskey and I'd just start drinking.
Oh,
And-
whiskey.
Oh yeah.
At
yeah.
noon.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. It's
Fuck
noon. So for a while I was drinking, and I had to just cut it out. I was like, hey, I gotta stop. So I stopped. It's still kind of hard for me to get into the food mindset 100%. I've definitely eaten better and gotten better with my eating and not eating as many carbs and this and that. But I think the nutrition side of it, because when I'm busy and I'm shooting and stuff like that, I'm about. Like I'm running around with the dog, doing that. It's easier to not think about the donut sitting in the cabinet or this. Instead, when you're home, you're just laying there and like
Yeah.
every 20 minutes go by, you just walk into the kitchen and you look in the fridge and you're like looking around. And there's no gym to go to, so you can't go train. And until my space downstairs is fully set up, it's like I'm excited to work out, but I'm not pumped. I'm not amped.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably been one of my biggest challenges is just getting that nutrition and being able to just hold it through this. Because for a while I was doing well, and now I got to get back to doing that because it's summer, and I don't look anywhere near what I intended to look like for this summer. So
I mean, if you have a mask on, nobody know the pictures of you.
exactly,
So you'll be all right
that's
there.
what
They
I'm
won't
gonna do.
know it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Should do the
on the
mask.
clip.
I actually use the mask for a headband because my hair got so long. I hold the hair up. That's what I use it for.
I use mine as a beard net.
We get creative with it.
Yeah.
We get creative with it. Yeah, it's there's certainly things that have been struggles, and I think all of us feel that way. It's like I call them snackcidents. We're like snackcidents. Oops, that was again.
Yeah.
It happened again because there's no structure.
Yeah.
We like that. We really like the structure.
Yeah. You know, for me, I think the hardest thing was my sleep schedule got all messed up. I was going to bed way too late, getting up way too late, and I was just eating crap left and right. Just junk food here and there.
What
Same.
was your go-to?
Pint of Ben and Jerry's
Oh yes.
in one sitting. In one sitting.
Let's go. Me too.
I don't want to
What
brag.
flavor?
Oof. So I would stay between the half baked
I like
or the fish food.
Interesting.
fish food. The marshmallow is so good.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
I've
god,
never had.
I need one now. Oh my god.
I think I just sent Nick down a spiral.
Holy shit. There's like little chocolate fishes in it.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Yes, that's
Jerry.
literally what it's like. There's little chocolate fishes in the ice cream. It's chocolate ice cream, and then it has swirls of melted marshmallow in it
And caramel in there.
and caramel. It's ridiculous.
That sounds pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know why though? Do you guys know why we crave the carbs? It's kind of interesting.
Tell me.
We crave carbs and sugar because when we eat them, it activates an area in our brain called the ventral tegmental area. And it's the pleasure reward center. You're getting high, you're getting a dopamine hit. When we were doing things in school, we would go to underprivileged areas, And a lot of it was for people that were coming off of opiate addictions or heroin and cocaine. All they would ask us for, can you bring me a soda and a chocolate bar? And it was like, we didn't know. Like, did someone, was there a memo that we didn't get that they all wanted the same thing? No, they weren't like talking to each other, but that's what they were wanting.
It hit the same receptor.
It hits the same receptors that you are getting high from. So when someone, does whatever they're doing to get high, that dopamine surge, that same area of the brain is the same center that lights up with carbs. It doesn't do that with fat, and it doesn't do it with protein.
Makes sense because I feel like shit after I'm done eating it, but I feel great
You feel
while
good.
I'm eating
We
it.
love it. No one's like, oh, I'm so stressed, I want some spinach. No, we don't feel that way. So there is a chemical, and I think sometimes we feel bad. Like, we have this shame that we do with ourselves where it's like, oh, I feel bad. I know I shouldn't do it. And when we know we shouldn't do it and we do it, we feel like we're not honoring ourselves. But it's not really just you or me or whoever. It's a real chemical thing. So we have to honor that like your body is asking for something, and it's not you. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong, but you're looking to feel better. So
anytime someone judges me now when I'm eating a pound of Ben Jerry's, I'm like,
me.
don't judge me. It's my receptors. They need to be fired up.
That's funny.
What's crazy too is what do you call it? If you get stuck in that rut like every single day at the same time, like eating ice cream before you go to bed, what I was doing.
My whiskey.
Yeah, exactly.
Whiskey
But
and ice cream.
Whiskey
I
and
love
ice
it.
cream.
It was peanut butter whiskey. It was delicious.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. What brand?
Screwball.
Christ.
Delicious. It was, oh my God, so
Sounds
smooth.
good.
You put it in the freezer, that shit comes out. It's like you're drinking syrup.
I mean, when there's not a lot going on, I know there's a Facebook group called the 5 o'clock Shadow, and it's people that are posting what they're drinking pretty much all day long. Like, they're like, this is what I'm doing, and this is my view, and it's thousands of people. So you're not the only one.
I'm in the opposite Facebook page. I'm one called the quarantine cook-off.
The quarantine.
Where it's a bunch of like people making their own home stuff. It's like, I made this, and sometimes there's really cool things on there.
I
And
love
sometimes
it.
it's someone really impressed, like, look, I made a sandwich. Like,
I'm so
Great.
I'm so horrible. I just I want to do recipes and fun stuff like that, but I get hungry while I'm cooking, so I'm just like, all right, fuck it, just give me whatever that's already made. I just want to eat it quick. I just want to get it over with. I get hungry while I'm cooking. I'm like, oh God, that looks good. Just eat it now. It's so what if it's not done?
Yeah, right. You're like half eating it.
Yeah.
There is a place, and I don't know what happened. If anyone's listening that knows, La Bottega.
Yes,
What happened? They haven't been open this whole time, but they have amazing,
the one right here.
right here in Roslyn.
Really, they haven't been open.
They haven't been open. Plainview's been open. I've been ordering some stuff to go.
Augie owns the one in Westbury, I think.
Okay, I didn't know that,
Yeah.
but I'll definitely, it's close. I love their salads.
Yeah,
Love
great
that.
salads, good paninis.
So good.
Yeah,
But they haven't been open right here, and this is the one closest. I don't know if they're going to open or what.
maybe I don't know. My sushi spot in Roslyn wasn't open for a while, and I was freaking out. Yuzu.
Yuzu.
Yeah, it's right here, right in the town. I was freaking out for a while. I was like, oh my God, because they have the best lunch special. It's 3 rolls, soup, salad for $15.
Oh, that is a good deal.
Yeah.
that's got to be a hard place to open now because, if you're buying fresh fish, you don't know how much to buy anymore.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
for a while there, they weren't. The fish markets were doing horrible overseas, so they weren't really bringing anything over here. So, I mean, every time I've gotten it, it's been great. I haven't had any bad tasting fish, thankfully.
Yeah.
Because I've had that before from other restaurants, and it was just, oh God, you get that bad fish taste, and you're just like, oh,
You're done.
the whole roll.
Gas station sushi.
God damn. Actually, I've had some good gas station sushi. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend. some good grocery store sushi. You see the dude, it's like some white dude making the sushi. You're like, really? You're making my sushi?
Yeah.
No, I need authentic. I need the guy straight from Japan, please.
Right.
You don't know how to cut this fish.
See, what worries me about that stuff though is you don't know how long it's been sitting out.
Yeah, well, the grocery
don't-
store one freaks me out because they'll put labels on it. They'll be like 50% off tonight. You're like, oh, why? Because it's gonna go bad tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You
Well, we
don't
left it
risk
out all
bad
day.
fish. You just
Nope.
don't risk it because you can get super sick. Talk about, like, we haven't spoken about this, but parasite infections
about to say, yeah.
that you don't even know exist for years to come. A lot of gut issues come from stuff that we pick up in food. Really, like, not even the day of. Like, obviously, if you have some bad fish, you're not going to be feeling
Yeah.
good that night of, but it stays in the body and it does very strange things into
Like
the
what?
liver.
What do you see?
So I test for parasites.
Symptoms.
Yeah, a lot of times, a lot of gastrointestinal stuff, a lot of things that don't respond to typical things. Like, you think, oh, take your probiotic, oh, have fiber. This is like beyond that. It can create really, really bad issues digestively, and it can set off an immune system profile because your immune system's involved. So remember that liver, it's digestive, it's processing fat, but it's also your immune system. It's got like this cool dual function to it. Parasites can sit in your liver and cause all sorts of cognitive things, mental things, even like depressive disorders. Sometimes we link to bad bacterial overgrowth in the gut. You synthesize most serotonin in your gut and it travels to the brain. So if the bacteria aren't balanced because you picked something up, not a good place to be. And it's not just the day of. It's like, okay, yeah, you're going to be feeling, digestively uncomfortable and burpy and bloated. And
I would be curious to see. Is there something that you do to get rid of them all?
Yeah.
So is it a pill? Is it a what?
Usually it's tincture. So if someone comes in, actually what's been happening, I've been seeing it frequently, is mercury. So even on the fresh stuff, people are like, well, it's fresh. I get good stuff. I get it from a good source. I had a patient just this week, 17 units of mercury in her blood. It's neurotoxic. I would say no more than 3 times a week with fish.
Oh man, eating sushi every single day.
Yeah, some people do.
Bodybuilding's on the check.
Oh gosh. Yeah, no.
You send the check.
Definitely. I would be happy to test them, though. If there's anyone out there that thinks they have that, of course, comprehensive blood work. We look at heavy metals, lead, mercury, aluminum. But yeah, toxic stuff. Mercury in particular causes a lot of neuro stuff like forgetfulness and sometimes personality changes. It literally eats nerves. It eats nerves. If you put mercury next to a nerve cell and look at it under a microscope, the nerve cell literally goes like this. It goes away from it. It's just toxic. It's endotoxic. It's neurotoxic. Yeah, so to answer your question, what do you do if you have parasites? You can test for them. We do a stool analysis, an ova and parasite test, and there are usually some therapeutic herbs that get rid of that stuff. And the thing about them is they hide. So it's not like they're in one spot. Same thing with bacteria. Same thing with viral load. They hide. They're called stealth infections, and they literally make little houses. They're called biofilms. And when you try to treat them, like Lyme, I know probably you guys know someone that has Lyme.
My mom's friends' kids, both of them, just got horrible Lyme disease. Huge radiating blisters, like marks and welts on their bodies now.
It's crazy. And Lyme is bacteria. It's a bacteria. And the thing about it is typically they give doxycycline for like 2 rounds or sometimes 1 round, 21 days. But they hide out. So when you put the antibiotic thinking you're going to get the bacteria that's living somewhere, it doesn't go there because the bacteria hide away. And then here you come with the joint pain and the back pain and the cognition stuff and the headaches. I always test everybody for all the kooky stuff, whether it's bacterial load. People have been asking too, like, what do you think is going to happen with the coronavirus in terms of symptoms in the long run? Not right now, not the respiratory, but like long-term effects. It's hard to say, but I would imagine it's going to affect the immune system because a lot of viruses cause cancers. It's a known thing. So it's hard to say, but definitely if you think you ate some bad sushi that was from the gas station, come get tested for parasites.
Well, I've been eating,
where that went.
I've been eating sushi for years. I mean, heavy. It's a staple. It's my favorite food.
I love seafood.
Yeah.
So I would be curious if I have something and I don't even know it.
You might not know. Usually you know, though, and I think that people, like what you were saying, John, about you don't know how shitty you feel, excuse my language, until you feel better. And that's the same concept that sometimes our normal is, well, it's normal. Like I'll ask patients, so tell me about XYZ. They're like, well, it's normal. What does that mean for you? Well, it's not every day. Well, that's not normal physiologic function. That's your normal that you've been living with forever.
Yeah.
That's not the body's design process. So you probably would be getting headaches frequently. Frequent headaches, sometimes even like cognition things like high anxiety could be mercuries and metals.
That's being an entrepreneur. I'm always stressed out.
Yeah. Could be. So it's hard to say because that is true. And a lot of my females do that where we talk ourselves out of symptoms because we make, I wouldn't say excuses, but, well, I'm a busy mom and I work, a job and I don't get home till so-and-so. So that's why we give it a justification purpose when it's really like, but that shouldn't happen. I have a lot of females that they're like, well, I move my bowels every 3 days. And I'm like,
3 days?
Whoa.
I'm like falling
My
off the
God.
shit. They're like, but that's just me. It's just normal, right? No wonder you're so bloated. Like it's meant to be daily. So sometimes we don't know what normal is because it becomes our normal.
Yeah.
But I would be happy to help, test some stuff and do some pretty interesting tests. A lot of people come, they want to know the hormones.
Yeah.
They're like, what are the hormones? Tell me my hormones.
They want to know tests. They want to know estrogen.
Yeah. They want to know the estrogen, the DHT, the DHEAs, DHEA sulfate. They want to know cortisol. They want to know, all of it, progesterone, the whole works, pregnenolone, cholesterol.
And is this now, do you work with a lot of bodybuilders too? I
do work with a lot of bodybuilders. I love people in the fitness industry because they get it. They understand that there's a health component. They don't always get it clinically. I wouldn't say it's very bro-y, but sometimes they're like, well, I know this. It's super clinical and it's not super linear. Like a lot of times people are like, well, my cholesterol's high because of my diet. That's one of 10 reasons someone can have high cholesterol.
Yeah.
So I love the fitness industry. I think that people that are proactive, they ask the right questions. They want to know about the supplements. They're super into how do I support myself? I love them versus someone that doesn't really get it. And they're like, well, I don't really know about this. But yeah, I wouldn't say a lot of bodybuilders, but a lot of people that are in the fitness realm, a lot of my gym, like people from my gym, some of the trainers come to see me. I support them. Everyone loves the blood work. They love it. They're like, I know that you do very comprehensive blood work, 13 pages. Can you order this? Yes.
Yeah, see, I would like to get something done, but I'm scared. I'm scared of needles. I'm the worst with blood tests, needles in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never lost anyone yet, but I've heard a couple people that are like, I'm not a good blood draw.
I usually pass out. Yeah, I usually pass out.
Probably for someone like you, if that was true, we would do it in parts. We'd maybe focus on some of the things.
No.
That'd be worse.
No.
I think you just put the needle in you once and then
There's
it's over.
no shot
Then
you getting
take
me
whatever
back.
you want.
My last blood test was probably in, oh man, has to be 2016, 17.
Yeah. You're due.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You're well overdue.
I'm gonna
due
get-
too.
I'm-
I'm
You guys
due.
are all due. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Blood scripts for everybody. Come on.
You should be getting your stuff done.
I know.
More
I'm
so
due.
than me.
I'm due. No, it's been like 2 years. It's not too bad.
That's still bad.
I didn't say it was good. I didn't say it was good.
How many preps have you done since then?
1,
How many off seasons? Technically.
2, I guess.
Okay.
So I think that's something to be said for that kind of industry. If you're like a bodybuilder, a competitor, the things that I do see frequently are always thyroid dysfunction. I wouldn't say always, but a lot of times thyroid dysfunction. It's an organ that's metabolically active that's controlling everything, not just weight. It's controlling how our bowels move, if we're feeling bloated, if we have high cholesterol. It's literally telling the cells, like, how fast do you move? All the cells, the brain cells included. So sometimes thyroid dysfunction, obviously, when we're in the realm of fitness and bodybuilding and using exogenous hormones and stuff like that, we have to expect there's going to be some things, not saying that anyone uses that, but the reality is.
We're pretty open on the show.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I don't take anything.
Yeah.
But John has. And
I mean,
Yes.
I'm not, my philosophy, it's not here nor there. It's just let's get you healthy regardless of if you go through this. It's kind of like the expectation that the sport is so extreme. So you can't really think I'm going to go through this process and not have a side effect. I think most bodybuilders understand that this is the risk for the reward that I'm doing. They understand that I'm going to be on very low calories. My hypothalamic pituitary axis is affected. My thyroid is certainly affected. My rhythm is off. My adrenals are not in a good place. It's kind of like buying a house. You don't just go and say, I want this house. There's expectations. Well, what do I need? I need an inspection. That's the same process. So I think just being mindful that if you're coming off a prep or coming into a prep, how do we support that post or pre?
See, for me, one of the biggest reasons why I'm not competing anymore is like those last couple weeks, or like let's call it the last 8 weeks of the prep, when I feel like complete shit and I'm taking thyroid, I'm taking T3. I know how it affects how I feel, and I feel lethargic, just bloated, shitty all day.
Yeah.
Not feeling good. I know when I was taking the T3 up to like 0.5 a day, I actually heard it in my voice. I could hear a little difference. I'm like, oh, hold on, this isn't okay.
This is my signature.
It's about to be the Rizzles.
Yeah, it's just the Rizzles and no voice.
The Rizzles and the guy with the beard. So
Yeah.
something big like that, where I've been on it, I've been off it, and the difference of how I feel is astronomical.
Yeah. The thing about the thyroid hormone is it changes every day. So if we did blood testing for someone's T3, T4, antibodies to the thyroid, TSI, reverse T3, the whole workup, it's going to look different daily because the thyroid is so, it's like so affected by chemical, physical, emotional stress. And what happens, and I know that you know this, but when we take hormones, we stop producing them. So as I take thyroid hormone, my body says, why would I produce this? I'm getting this. I'm not going to make this. It's like someone, if you're going to get money, why would you go work? You're going to get it from your parents. So same concept. But I would say in the bodybuilding industry, they're a good audience in the sense that they get it, but they're a hard audience because they like the control of what they think works for them. they're like, but I read on a forum and someone said this. And I'm like, okay, but this is what your body is saying. I get
Yeah.
that Joe said this and Sandy said that, but this is what your chemistry is saying. And these are your symptoms. We have to treat you, not, everyone's different genetically and has different polymorphisms and different makeups and different baselines of things and stuff like that. We have to consider all of it.
It goes back to what I was talking about with the obese dog and the obese person, where, no, this is normal. It's okay. I know I'm doing everything right. I know I'm healthy. The blood work says otherwise. Yeah. And we should get your shit together before you're, in the ground in 3 years.
Yeah. A lot of times, to be very truthful, we can run some markers for inflammation. There's inflammatory markers that we can look at in the blood. It's a scary thing for people. I usually find that when people see it in their blood work, it's more tangible, and it's not a scare tactic, so to speak, but it does. It kind of gives them like oh my gosh, because we don't feel it. Sometimes we do. We feel crappy. We feel like, I feel achy and my joints hurt, and I feel like this is hurting and that's hurting, and I don't get why I'm not able to focus, and my sleep cycle sucks, and whatever's going on for us. But sometimes we feel nothing, and we look at the blood and we're like, this is a heart attack, like on the verge. So
but
you got it.
I was going to say, but like you said, people just knock it up as that's the new normal for them, and they don't understand.
Yeah. So I think part of awareness is letting them know that that's not normal. Like, just kind of spreading awareness that the way you feel is your normal. It's not normal. It's not baseline normal. It's not standard. And there are things I think that we can help. It sounds like, whoever you talk to or even friends, you have both of you guys, Nick, you're helping your cousin and working out. You've been through it. There's understanding of like, I've dealt with weight issues and I've come out of that. And having a gym, I don't know what your past background was of your physical body, but you've challenged those kind of thoughts or your body to be able to do things. And so support everybody that you can connect with.
Yeah.
How do I do it? Like you said, your thing to them is one, like look at foods that are real. Nick, your thing is like, be mindful of the workouts have to be consistent. The consistency of showing up is really valuable. So I hope that someone that's out there that's like, I feel like shit about myself and I'm not doing what I should do, can say like, I can do this. Let me make one small change.
Yeah.
One thing a day. It's like,
it's a domino effect. That's what it wants to
absolutely.
be.
Don't do the paralysis by analysis where you're like, I'm not moving because I don't know what to do. And it feels so overwhelming that now I'm here with all this crap. Don't do that. Pick one thing. Make it an easy thing and just do it.
Yeah.
And that's the best advice in life, too.
Yeah. No paralysis by analysis.
Starting a business is scary. Saying, if you were going to start this place and go, shit, what table do I get? What computer do I get? What software do I get from nothing?
Yeah.
Think of how much
start
stuff,
simple. Pick up a camera.
I love this. Like I come in here and I feel that way. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy has a ton of stuff. Did you have that? You probably had like a basic Apple phone and who knows what else, like a computer.
Yeah.
You've built something.
I mean, I started
gym.
I started with my one camera, one lens, and a tripod, and that was it.
I mean, I don't even know what you call this thing, but it's a thing.
Yeah,
He's got a
mixer.
That's the beeper.
Yeah, it's a little mixer. I use that for interview audio interviews too. So I bring that on location with me.
I couldn't. If someone said you are going to live or die, if you know what that piece is, you have to name that piece. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
That's all right.
It's a robot.
and vice versa. If I had to read blood panels and they said
like,
this person's gonna die if you don't diagnose it right. Oh, I gotta be real with you. If they need a video before they die, I got them.
Confidence is key. Just say it like you know it. Like this thing is for record playing.
There you go.
Something like that.
Someone's gonna believe me. I just said it with confidence.
You can convince anybody of anything.
It's true.
So I'm actually curious about what got you into what you're doing now as a doctor. So
yeah.
I meant to say that when we kind of started, Dr. Elyse.
That's okay.
I wanted to do that.
I go by anything.
So
I wanted to be a surgeon.
Oh,
that was like my life. Like my life was like, I want to be a surgeon. And then I realized, oh my goodness, to become a surgeon, I would still be in school.
Ugh.
I'd be like 35, 36 in school. I'm 32 right now. But then I also said, if I go into medicine, I don't want to be of the symptoms based. Like you got a symptom, I got a pill. You got a symptom, I got a pill. Like that algorithm system of 10 minutes with people, it wasn't cutting it for me.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. So holistic route of medicine, I love it. I feel like I think food is medicinal. And I think that more of the way we came into this world, that's just the way we're meant to be. We were designed to feel really good, and we have all these good foods for a reason. So it just evolved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It wasn't surgery, so it had to be something that was more like primitive and more helpful and not so pharmaceutical based. I think that's, and even people are feeling that way too. I know a lot of my patients are like, you know what, this isn't working. I'm taking Synthroid. I'm taking Cytomel. I'm taking whatever it is for XYZ. I'm taking statin drugs. I still don't feel good from this.
Yeah.
So I think there's
Well, it's like it treats a lot of the pharmaceutical grade companies and treatment processes or processes. Is that the correct term? Yeah. They treat one thing, and then it causes a host of other issues.
I love the commercials. You've got this. We can help that.
But now your rectum is going to fall out, and your eyes are going to continually bleed for 72 hours. Like what? Fuck it. I'll take the first thing. I'll take what I had.
It's true. The side effects and the complications, it doesn't outweigh what you're going in for. So I think real healing, true healing comes from within, from all the chemical, physical, emotional stuff in the natural way. That's just my own philosophy.
The stupidest way to describe this is it's not that hard.
It's really not.
Just do
foundational
what the human body's supposed to do. Stop fucking with it, and that's about it.
Yeah. I have people that come in, it's so funny, and I'm sure you guys know these people or have friends that are like, I have to lose weight. I just got to lose weight. I'll do anything to lose weight. I'll do anything, like anything. And then you tell them like that they have to eat better or not have that thing. And they're like, but I'll do anything but that. Like anything but that one thing that's going to help me. It's so weird.
I actually stopped giving advice a long time ago.
Yeah.
I would get so irritated that I'd take so much time and care and write down, this is your plan. This is what you should stick to. This is what you should be doing. This is what you should be focusing on. And then 3 days would go by and they wouldn't be doing it anymore. I'd be like, and I'd say to them, and then a year would go by, and they asked me for help again. I had a close friend that would do that all the time. I go, dude, I'm not wasting my fucking breath anymore. I'm not doing it. You're on your own.
Yeah.
Everything I told you to do still stands. What we talked about a year ago is still the best way to do it. And if you don't want to follow that, that's on you. It's not on me. So you need to figure out if this is really what you want to do. And if it isn't, that's cool, man. Be happy with who you are, but be realistic of the health issues and also be realistic of your mental health issues that you're going to have because you've been wanting to look a certain way for a long time and you haven't. So I
got to get brutally honest. I think we all can agree to that like whatever our health is, wherever we are, we got to get real with what it is.
Absolutely.
And where we want to be.
I am brutally honest. I don't have that bone in my body to
there's no sugarcoating.
Yeah, I'm cold.
God.
You're like, this is what it is.
It's rough. People either love that about me or they hate that about me. And I can't sit there and coddle somebody. Like, this is what it is. How I see it, whether it's right or wrong, this is my viewpoint on it. This is what it is. Like, you don't like that, you don't like to hear it, that's okay. Don't listen to it then.
Tough shit.
Don't ask me for help.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't help you if you're not going to listen.
Just give him our number. Here's Elise's number. Go get some blood work done. Here's John. Here's John's number. He's going to yell at you.
We'll do like a little tag team here. Like, you're gonna get yelled at. I'm sending you to John. He's gonna definitely get you in the gym and show you what you're doing. Nick's gonna tell you what you should be eating, and
he's just gonna keep it fucking real.
He's gonna keep tell you what.
And
you
Lisa's gonna tell you how fucked your blood is.
Yeah, your body, your blood, your hormones, all that stuff. Definitely.
Listen, Andrew. I know you came in here to lose weight, and I know I told you I was doing a comprehensive blood work panel. However, 98% of your blood is McFlurry from McDonald's. So we have to change something because this is not great.
We actually couldn't get blood. We saw cheeseburgers.
We actually couldn't get blood. Actually, an M&M shot into the vial. Please stop.
We zoomed in on your red blood cells. They were Skittles.
They actually. I love it. They weren't red blood cells. They were Skittles.
They're actually Skittles. We've never seen anything like this in the medical profession ever. So,
I love it.
To say it nicely, take this tincture and stop eating altogether.
This just reminds me of I sent you a Cyanide and Happiness video. Those little comics.
Yes.
Where it was this doctor. He was singing all these. What do you call it? Like diagnosis to this patient. Like, you have this and this and this and this and this and this. Where he was like, all these terrible, like, cancer and you're blind and this, and a million different things.
Gosh.
And the guy's sitting there clapping like as if he's singing. And the last thing on the list says, also you're deaf. And then he shows him the chart and he goes, what?
Oh, that's cute. There's a lot of funny
hysterical.
stuff out there. There's a lot. That's the one thing I have to say that makes me laugh of all this. Like, there's light when you go on like Instagram. People are coming up with some really funny stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the TikTok.
Yeah, I don't really go on it.
No, it's not good. It's not good. I'm not saying it's good.
He
It's
sends me.
funny.
I
He
send him
sends
the
me
funny
TikToks,
ones.
and that's the
It's
only
funny.
time the app opens on my phone. I'm like, oh God, why is John sending me a fucking TikTok right now?
They're hysterical. Some of them are
It's
funny.
so funny. The stuff that's like, what are people doing? This is what you're doing with your day. The dances, it's great. It's great stuff.
So the dances bother me. I like the puns. Just the bad pun ones.
Yeah, John likes dad jokes.
Yeah.
John likes all the corny.
I like the dances.
Yeah.
They're
And
fun.
and you know what? You guys can agree on that, and I just stay off the fucking app. I can't stand TikTok as a whole. It just bothers
And
me.
I just send you something once in a while.
Yeah, once in a
And
while.
you go,
just
the
send me something.
fuck is he bothering me with now?
Seriously,
What does John want?
It's funny though. Some of it's good stuff.
So another thing I'm curious about: what do you see most often, like issue wise?
Thyroid dysfunction.
Thyroid.
Okay.
Hands down thyroid. I would say 10 out of 10 people that come in, they either know or they don't know, and we do a full workup. Thyroid. Subclinical too, meaning that it doesn't show up fully in their blood work.
God.
We do like sonograms and ultrasounds, and their symptoms are aligned with thyroid dysfunction. But it's so freaking prevalent. Prevalent.
What are common symptoms?
Chronic fatigue, like exhaustion, where you might be sleeping 7-8 hours, a full night's rest, and you get up and you're like, I'm still tired.
Yeah, I'm always tired.
Like always, like yawning and crashing 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Since the quarantine, I've been crashing around that time. Bad.
Yeah, there's an adrenal component. The adrenal glands, the cool thing about them, and I'm saying adrenal because they're connected to thyroid, they're buddies. What happens when the adrenal glands are not in a good place, they spew their hormones at a time on the clock. So at like 12 o'clock, they should be doing this one thing. We fall, like Dunkin' Donuts does capitalize on adrenal fatigue because it's get your happy hour coffee at 5 o'clock. That's when people feel like they're feeling that effect of their adrenal glands and the cortisol response. But thyroid dysfunction is huge.
Yeah.
It's so more so the autoimmune, which is Hashimoto. So they're different. So maybe, John, you might understand this. When you take thyroid hormone, you can have variation where the hormone levels become hypo or hyper, meaning they go down or they go up, depending on what's happened. However, most thyroid dysfunction is autoimmune, where someone's cells are attacking the gland. And that's not a good thing at all. It makes it harder to treat. But it's called Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and it's literally rampant. And I'm doing the workshop tomorrow via Zoom, and I have 7 people signed up for it. But it's really to create awareness around thyroid and how you can be proactive because it's so prevalent. And chronic fatigue, bowel movements, usually on the constipation side, because the thyroid gland produces hormones that tell the bowels to move. It's not just what you ate. That's not the bowels. It's a function of how the organs are processing the food. So constipation, for women, hair loss, menstrual cycles that are just really strange. Like not every month,
All over the
not
place.
fully amenorrhea, but like, yeah, very strange. Their cycling is off. Infertility. So for women or men that are out there trying to get pregnant and they're like, I don't get it. Everything looks good. My sperm count looks good. My husband, my wife, everyone's been tested and things look fine. Usually thyroid has a component to fertility. So painful menstruation, chronic fatigue, and it happens in men and it happens in children. It used to be that when I was learning this stuff in school, you had to be over 40, you had to be female. That is not true. I have 9 and 10-year-old patients with thyroid dysfunction, and I have men that have it as well.
So where does it tend to come from?
Usually viral load. So speaking of coronavirus, Epstein-Barr virus, it's the virus that we get when we have mono. So I don't know if you guys remember having mono or if you knew you had it. I had it in high school, and I remember it was horrible.
I don't think I ever had it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You might have, but you sometimes don't know because it shows up like strep throat. Usually we get it when we're like adolescents. We get a sore throat. It looks like strep. We get the swollen lymph nodes, and then it goes away.
Yeah.
Probably.
But
Yeah.
most people, then what happens is the nature of the virus is it likes to go into the thyroid.
Is he all right? Was he making noise?
I was going to order.
Oh, I thought you were looking at him. I was like, is he making noise?
Kenji's okay. Kenji's okay. So thyroid dysfunction, I think that if anyone's having symptoms, like I said, it's always whenever I work with someone, I'm going to look for it because it's there. Like I want to make sure I'm doing my due diligence to help them feel better, but it's literally
A
there.
to Z. You're
A to
marking
Z.
everything.
A to Z. I want everything. I want to know the full body. You can't piecemeal the body. It's like working out. People
Yeah.
get that. You can't just train biceps and think I'm purely isolating my biceps. While you can to some capacity, guess what? The biceps attached to the shoulder. The shoulder then has movement. You have to brace for that. So you can't pick apart the body, which a lot of the conventional processes do. Oh, you've got a stomachache, go to the gastro. Oh, there's a thyroid problem, go to the endo. Oh, you've got a liver problem, It's so integrative.
Yeah.
It's so connected. But Thyroid is huge. I see that like left and right.
So if there, obviously you have the Zoom call, which I don't want to take away from any of your having people sign up to learn about stuff like that. But if there could be like one small tip that you could give that's a way for someone to help themselves, not out of a full thyroid issue, but almost like dominoes, put it in the right direction.
What I would say is get tested for it first, because the testing helps us to know why do you have it. Sometimes if we don't know the why, then we don't know necessarily what the best step is, because there's different levels of thyroid dysfunction. So if it's viral induced, you can take Synthroid every single day of your life. It's not doing anything. I have pharmacists that come to see me. They're like, I have Hashimoto's. I know the medication won't help the autoimmune component. It can give a little bit of thyroid hormone. So we can't just say, well, just take medicine. That's the only, one size fits all with thyroid dysfunction. No, we have to know why. Is it chemical? Is it emotional? A lot of times it's very emotional. It's an emotional gland. Speaking our truth, sore throats, chronic sore throats, it lives in the thyroid chakra. It lives here. So sometimes people that are not saying what they mean, or they're finding they can't speak what they want to talk about, they develop emotionally thyroid dysfunctions. We can do that. We can have emotions dictate health.
Yeah, I've heard of it, issues coming about just by your thoughts occurring in the body. And
it's very, very true. I know it's abstract, but when you start to see people clinically and you meet them and you hear some of their life stories, you can almost understand why they're physical. So the physical body is an extension of the emotional mind. That's really what happens. So our emotional brain, the way we think, the way we process, can that create disease? Yeah. Yeah. And the thyroid loves to do that. It's like the alarm system in the body.
With your bad mind, that can still just release hormones and just cause it to happen.
Oh my gosh,
right? Yeah, like from a physical standpoint, people are saying like, I don't believe in chakra, blah, blah, blah. If you have a lot of bad shit going on in your head, it's going to release cortisol and so on and so forth, and your physical body is going to be affected.
Yeah.
I had a client for a long time who wasn't responding. She was going to school for this and teaching this and a full-time nurse. She just graduated, like the last thing of school she had to do, and now she's still working a lot now. That school was the biggest thing, and now the weight's just falling off like fucking water.
Yeah.
It's coming off her.
When you're stuck in fight or flight mode, you just can't heal. And we live there, and we live in that alarm phase, and it's not conducive. So there's two types of nervous systems that we have. One is the sympathetic nervous system. That's the fight, flight, the gotta go, the gotta pay the bills, gotta walk the dog, the gotta figure out what's happening next. When that one's activated, it by default turns off the parasympathetic, which is the rest and the digest. So a lot of digestive issues, it's rampant. I hear so many stories like, I talk about poop, obviously. I talk about bowel movements because it's part of health. It's something we have to talk about. But when I check in with people and I say, tell me about your bowel movements, it's horrible. It's horrible what you hear from people, and it's just they're normal. Yeah. I have people that live around the toilet that literally plan their day because they're like, I have IBS, and that just means irritable bowel. Well, why is the bowel irritable? Because part of the bowel has a component to your central nervous system, and if you're amped up, it's affecting your gut health. So there's so many factors. I am a firm believer that it's, chemical, physical, emotional. Thoughts?
My mom is always amped up, and she has colitis. So, just with, I don't remember the last time she was calm from work and business. So
yeah,
and she's had it since 2009.
So for someone like her, knowing that, why, that's like your question. Like, well, why does she have colitis? Would she be the right person to just dump enzymes into her body? Maybe, but more stress modulation, enzymes around stress modification, because that's probably the root, and then it's manifesting with digestive issues. Like, how we have butterflies in our stomach, or we feel that gut feeling. We say those things because our digestive systems have nerves in them. Yeah. And they're extensions of our brain nerves. So we feel stuff. Yeah.
So one thing, this is off topic now. I'm curious about, because you've had clients coming to you for a long time, obviously.
Yeah.
And a lot of them now, they're full-time, they're wearing a mask. Let's say 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm curious what the difference in blood work is from the people before this versus what it's like now wearing the mask every single day. Because I know it's affecting everybody from both a mental and a physical standpoint, not getting enough oxygen and just breathing in CO2 all day.
It's very true. So in the blood work findings, there are some values that tell us about CO2. There's values that we can look at to see, and it is as if people aren't taking deep breaths. You can see that in the blood work, and everything that people had So there was maybe someone I'm working with, we got them to a certain place. Their goal was to come off, XYZ, or their goal was to improve the thyroid, or their goal was to get their menstrual cycle again, or to raise their testosterone. I have men that like their testosterone can go up 300, 400 points naturally without any hormone replacement therapy. We get them to that goal, and right now everything's flared up. It's as if they reverted back. And they did nothing different. They're like, I don't get it. I'm doing the same things. No, you're not, because your world just got shaken up. And now we don't know what's happening. We don't know, when the next XYZ is happening, or when we're back to our normal lives. So the stress component of things is super powerful. And I think that for people that might be listening, feeling like, oh God, like I'm here and now I'm worried. It's not to be, fearful, but get some books. There's some really good books. My favorite book, it's about mindset, and I think it changed a lot for me, the way I think, was by Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And it's about, we're on programs. We're on neurologic programs. We wake up, think of this, truthfully. We wake up, same side of the bed, phone's in the same place, go to the coffee machine, make the tea, get in the car. We do the same thing. We're living in the past. And so it talks about how do we break those kind of neurologic patterns, and that thoughts do become things. So it's a really great book. It's a little hocus pocusy if you're not really there. It might be a little too much. I'm into that.
That's John's favorite thing.
I like the
Hocus
hocus pocus
pocus.
stuff. It's all about the quantum world, collapsing quantum waves. It's about that when you look at something, your energy and your intention is there. So I'm into all that stuff too. But yeah, it's a really good book. I think you'd like it.
That stuff makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at the same thing every day, you can feel a certain way about it. Once people start talking about magic rocks, then there's another
These
story.
rocks are moving.
This rock it hurt me. Well, I'm gonna hit you over the head with it.
Yeah.
No wonder it hurts you.
The only rock I say, and I don't know, I'm not certified in like gems, but
Yeah.
it's black tourmaline. It's really good for energy. Like when I work with people that suck your energy out, they just have that capacity. I will wear like a black tourmaline ring or necklace, and it looks a little voodoo. It's dark, it's black, but you do feel like a sense, almost like the blue blockers. It's like a little EMF. Like you
Yeah.
get a little bit of like a blockage of people's like negative energy.
I'm gonna hang a bunch of them off John.
Next time I come in, it's like Nick's
Yeah,
whole
it's-
space is like
Everywhere.
all
It's just like a cave of
black
just that.
tourmaline.
Yeah.
Even for guys too, I got my boyfriend a bracelet. He's a chiropractor, and he sees a lot of people, and he was sensing that the 5G that they put on the building, he felt it. Like I guess they're putting 5G towers. I don't know all about this. I'm not like the techie.
So I'll say I can understand some people getting a little wigged out by that, but 5G has been around for a long time now, because it's been around on everyone's.
See, I don't know. 'Cause
Everyone's,
I don't know this.
everyone's routers have been giving 5G off for years.
Oh.
That's why sometimes when you ask somebody, can I log into your router? Is it the regular or is it the 5G?
Yeah, my phone says that sometimes. I think though what's happening is maybe they're putting more towers up to get more stuff. I don't know.
No, that they definitely are, because the 5G networks come out next year.
Yeah. And so people feel that, like even with like bright lighting, like my new space that I'm going to be moving into in September, it's got like these fluorescent lights, and I'm like, no, this has got to go. Like hospital lights. Think about how you feel under that. Like that's energy. No one feels good. Like
No.
dim lighting, soft lighting. So all of that stuff, it's connected. It's more energetic, but we are energetic. As humans, we just have energy. We have fields. I know it sounds it's
Spacey.
very physicky.
Spacey.
It
Sounds
sounds spacey. It sounds very spacey. When I first learned about this stuff, I was like, what the heck are these people smoking?
I'm still trying to get John to the Roslyn Salt Cave right down
I
the road.
saw that was right
I
here.
never said no.
I heard really great things about it.
Yeah.
We should go, all three of us.
Let's go.
Yeah, they do
Are
yoga
they
in there
open?
too. Yeah, I
That's
think
cool.
she's still in there.
Oh, we're gonna go buy some gems. Maybe she has some
She
healing
does.
gems.
She does have gems.
We'll report back to you guys what we thought of the gems.
Yes, she's really nice. I'd like to get her on here just to talk, but I know that's not one of John's favorite things in the world.
Magic rocks. I'll hold my tongue for a little
What
bit.
were those things? They're not rocks, but what were those things that were like magic jumping beans? Do you
Yeah, they
guys
were
know that?
just the jumping beans, right?
But did they really jump?
I think it was energy, like from friction together. I don't know.
But that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I guess if you're not an energy person,
Well, now
but you
you're-
know about like the jumping beans, it's in there.
yeah.
But
there's-
They move.
it's curious how much of it is psychosomatic as well.
It's all
Where-
psychosomatic.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Like
all.
the 5G has been around forever, but now they announce putting all these towers up. People go, whoa, I feel it. It's always been there. You know what I mean? You sure
Yeah.
you're just not trying to think about it now, going, well, this is going to hurt me. Probably not.
It's intention.
Probably
It's
gonna be all
intention
right.
and it's
Yeah.
awareness around things that all of a sudden now we know about. It's like buying a car. Like when you want a specific car, all of a sudden you see it. No, it's not that you're all of a
Everywhere.
sudden seeing it. It's
Yeah.
there. Now you're more focused on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am curious to see how the new network rollout's going to be like for people though, because I know that it's going to have some type of an impact on people.
Yeah.
Because none of the Wi-Fi's only been around for how many years? There's no long-term studies on what it does to people. I got a router in my bedroom.
Yeah.
You know, I had a customer that used to come into Apple. Hysterical dude. He was like that guy that just had a ton of money and he would come in once a day, just like sell me something new kind of thing.
I just
Yeah.
want the newest product of the day.
Yeah, just he was just he was a funny guy, and he would just hang out, and he would hang out at the store because he had other stuff that he was doing, but he wanted to just get away from everything and get away from home and just be somewhere else.
You get a crush on you, Nick.
Yeah, something like
I think
that.
that's what it
Probably.
was.
But he would come in and he would go. I want to talk to the manager. I want to talk to the manager right now. I'd be like, what's the matter? Like I sold him a router the day before. He gets the manager to come over and the manager thinks he's serious, and I know he's joking. He goes, this kid right here. He goes, he sold me a router yesterday. He goes, now I woke up, my balls are glowing blue. He's like, I put it in my bedroom. He goes, you didn't tell me I was gonna do that shit. He's like, now I got to go to a doctor for this. So
There's probably truth to that.
yeah, I mean, who
They're
knows?
not blue, but they might be.
No,
blue.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
They're blue for another
They're
reason.
blue for another reason. His wife was in the other room. But like, who would like think about long-term studies? And now
We don't.
Yeah.
4G's been out for how long? Since maybe what? 08,
No idea.
09?
I don't get it though. Can you explain? Because you're techie. Like, what the G is more like capacity. Like, what does it mean?
It's
G?
faster bandwidth and reach. That's really what it deals with. So
Okay.
the 5G is supposed to give us like plugged-in internet speeds. So like as if your laptop is plugged into the wall into the internet, it's supposed to give you that same type of speed on a mobile phone or similar. But it's tough. Like I said, we don't. It depends on the area around you, how many towers are up, what service provider you have.
So many factors.
There's so many factors, and you don't. And the thing that freaks me out is you're just throwing towers up. What's this doing to people? Because
We don't know.
that's what I'm saying. Because we know that radio waves do things to people's brain waves and in general people's bodies. So now a more amplified, stronger, long reach version of it. What is that going to do over the next 5 years, 10 years, 30 years?
I think anxiety. I feel like that's something too that like on outside of thyroid on all the intake forms, it's anxiety.
Everyone's
Everyone has
stressed.
everyone. It's not just like the high corporate people anymore. It's literally across the board. It's in it's in 10-year-olds. They're walking around anxious. So I think that there is a huge component of like we're feeling it. We just maybe don't know it.
Yeah.
We don't really know it. How do we measure that?
Yeah, I don't know. I
But then it's weird of how society's changed in this, short period of time where, you're bringing it back to the media. They're freaking everybody out. They're making everybody anxious. Kids get more anxious because they're seeing the world going to shit.
It's the way we live.
When, besides the last couple of months, the world's been fine. Stuff happens left and right, but it's being amplified so much where kids are freaking out about it where it's not going to affect them.
Yeah.
They don't know anymore.
don't think about everything going on. I mean, nobody goes before the quarantine. Nobody goes outside. This is the first time I'm seeing people outside.
It's so cool. I love that about that. Like I love going home.
And you had
out.
and now that was your other question. You had said what's something that you love about
love it.
this?
There you go.
That's your
I love
that's
that.
your
That's
I
my
love
thing.
it.
Like families that are out and they're walking their kids. I'm not walking their dog.
Where the fuck do you live?
They're not.
The dogs are in the stroller.
They're not walking their kids. They're walking their dogs, but they're out.
Yeah.
And it's so awesome to see that. Like I remember being little and my mom would say, we're having dinner at whatever time. And we would all go inside from bike riding. Like we were out all day.
Yeah.
We didn't even know where we would go. We'd get into trouble, but it's so cool to see that.
Now
it's
now
nice.
you look back at that. Were there a lot of overweight kids back then?
No.
Yeah, because you were exercising and
Yeah.
doing things.
And better food.
Better food.
Well, that was actually something that I wanted to touch on earlier. My coach, James, down in Florida, and I had mentioned in another podcast with John. He told me, if you look around, look at the newer generation of young men. A lot of them are smaller.
More feminine.
They don't have as much muscle mass, and they're more feminine. And he's like, there are some guys that are wearing women's jeans. Like, that's not really supposed to happen. And I said, well, what is it? And this is one of my first conversations with him. I'll never forget it. He goes, well, it's the estrogen in the food. He's like, there's tons of estrogen in the GMOs, and that is what's helping and aiding in loss of muscle, maturity in girls quicker. Not as males not maturing as quickly because they have more estrogen in the body and it's suppressing it. So I was like, oh shit, he's kind of fucking right. I'm like, now I look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of these kids might be taller. I find I'm not short, but I'm also not like average height. I'm 5'7" on the dot. So I go to some bar sometimes. I'm looking around, I'm like, God damn it, why is everyone fucking 6'3" in here? And I'm just looking around, and I see that a lot of the younger generation kids, they may be tall, but they're so little. It's
Lanky.
like their arms, you could just snap them. And I was like, what is going on? Like, nobody looks like athletic anymore besides the guys that are training. I don't know. Maybe you could share. Maybe that's something that you've noticed and you could say something on. But I just
Yeah, I definitely think that's true. I think the way we physically look, even for women, we could say that for women, like younger girls are developing breast tissue so early and they're cycling so much earlier. A lot of it's the food and it's the chemicals, the pesticides, and all these like toxic things. Dairy, for example. So, when they say grass-fed beef, people sometimes ask me, like, what does that mean, grass-fed beef? Like, beef is beef is beef. It means that the cows are eating the grass. That's what they were designed. That's what they know to eat. What are they feeding them? Corn. And they're spraying the stuff and they're spraying the grass. And then they're pumping them up because they want them to look and yield so much more stuff. So it's like, I want a big chicken. Nobody wants like a little baby chicken. They want the massive, chicken. They're futzing with our food system.
chicken breast the size of car batteries.
They're huge.
Yeah.
Some of them are huge, and it's like, well, we don't want that little tomato or the one that looks kind of strange. That's how it naturally grew. We want like the perfect red tomato that's perfectly round, and we want the perfect chicken. It's part of that is because of the food source. It's what we're putting in our body with chemicals, pesticides, herbicides. Our fish are swimming in waters that are toxic and they pull things in. The fattier the fish, the more they pull in toxins from their environment. So I think that that's a truth statement. Is it because of the food? I would say if I had to pick one thing, it's probably the food.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one thing, I would say, it's the food, the way
Because
we're
think about
eating
it,
things.
parents just throw whatever at their kids at this point.
Yeah.
It's like whatever, just get them fed, or the excuse of it's too expensive to have them eat healthy. So I'd rather just get the McDonald's and shut them up.
Yeah. But we were just talking about as if the parents cook them regular chicken breast. You know what I mean? Most of the time, it's even worse than that. It's the fast food. It's the chicken nuggets that are frozen. It's the frozen dinner. You know what I mean?
Aren't even nuggets. Have you ever seen
Yeah,
that
it's
McDonald's
disgusting.
picture
It's
of
like
what a
white
chicken?
meat.
Yeah.
No,
It's
it's
like a
What was
pink
it
paste.
before?
It's
White
paste. It's paste. Have you ever seen that? Oh, I gotta show you that.
Uh-oh.
No.
But I'm a huge advocate for the all organic meats.
Yes.
If you're gonna eat meat, go organic.
You have to. Some of the
And-
things, if you have to pick and choose, like if you're on a budget, which I get, we have to be realistic. You have to do things like meats have to be organic.
But what's funny is, and like I do a lot of grass-fed red meat as well, but people don't understand that organic isn't that much more expensive than regular. And on top of that, if you're gonna really make a lifestyle change, if you decide to buy all organic food and not buy,
Oh, yeah.
My gosh. I thought this was like ice cream.
Nope.
Like a pink ice cream, like a strawberry, like swirly thingy.
Nope.
That's so disgusting. And people are asking, look at the questions. Are chicken nuggets really made from pink goop? What is a McDonald's chicken nugget made out of? Are McDonald's chickens fried or baked? How bad are McDonald's?
Fried or baked? What do you think they are?
They're gooped. Pink slime and mechanically separated chicken. That's basically what you're eating.
yeah.
It's gross. It's so gross.
Yeah, but anyway, what I was saying was eating all organic meats doesn't turn out to be that much more expensive. And I know, once again, with myself and a lot of my clientele, that when I switched them all to all organic, they end up saving money. Because when you make that lifestyle change, you're not buying as much beer. You're not buying as much Oreos and junk food. So the difference in what you're saving to what you're spending on the healthier things, it's kind of non-existent. If you go to Starbucks every day and get a $5 latte, that costs more than the difference in plain to organic food than you would eat that day.
It's so true. And I always tell people, do you want to pay now or do you want to pay later? You will pay. I have women that come in, I have patients that come in, and they're willing to open up a checkbook and say, this is my blank check. I need you to fix me. I can't fix you. You have to fix yourself. This was years ago. There was prevention. This was prevention in where you are. So chronic diseases, they don't just, all of a sudden I have cancer. Oh, all of a sudden I have heart disease. Oh, all of a sudden I'm diabetic. It's the most frustrating thing when patients come in and I have people that they're mad. They're angry. They're like, well, I wasn't diabetic 2 months ago. Yes, you were.
Yeah.
You were
The
right on the
signs
cusp.
were right there. Your blood sugar, your A1C, you were right there. And no one brought it up because guess what? Unless it's out of range in a lab, the doctor says, boom, looks good. See me in 3 months. You have to be functional with the blood work. It's not only what we're testing, it's looking at the ranges. And it's so true that you have to invest in your health. You have to. If you want to be sick, it's going to cost you to have to go to dialysis 3 times a week. It's going to cost you to have to check in to be on your medications that aren't covered. It's expensive to take time from your life to go check in. Like, you will pay. It's just a matter of now or later.
Yeah, my father's a really bad alcoholic and, pills, all that bullshit. And he's been abusing his body for just fucking years and years and years. And he ended up getting jaundice. So he was yellow. He was in the hospital. And then he's back home now. The jaundice went away. Still drinking, still taking the pills. And he just goes, oh, once my liver goes bad, I'll get another one. It does not work that way.
Oh, gosh.
You are by no means the first candidate to get a liver.
Well,
Yeah, no.
I want to speak to that because my dad was an alcoholic. He's
Yeah.
passed. He passed because he had complications of cirrhosis, and he did get a new liver. And the saddest part is that he drank himself into a cirrhotic liver, and
Yeah.
then he blew up and was really congested. And the liver is a huge organ for so many things. But he did get a new liver, and he drank that one away too.
Oh,
That's exactly what'll happen.
Yeah,
We had on
Marcus's
podcast.
Do you know Marcus?
I don't think so.
He was a Bev's guy. Yeah, he's a pro men's physique guy. He's also a firefighter.
Is he passed?
No.
I thought
no.
he passed.
No. He's still alive.
Marcus is alive.
Yeah, Marcus is
Marcus is
alive.
Don't make
Mar-
things happen.
Marcus the homie. But he donated a kidney
Wow.
to a guy he knew, and the guy started taking steroids again, right? That's what it was?
The steroids messed up his kidney to begin with.
And then he started taking them again, right? He's like, oh, I just gave you that one.
Don't fuck this one up already.
It's addiction. It's the power of addiction, and for those types of mindsets, we can see through our filter as healthy humans that we would never do that. We would never get something that we just destroyed and destroyed again. That's just human nature. But the power of addiction that's a whole nother topic, and it's a filter. They're not seeing their reality. It's just they're concerned about, can I feel the way I need to feel? Are my needs getting met when I'm doing this thing? It's not about the health, because if it was, nobody would smoke. They'd say, oh, people die from cigarette smoke. People know they die from cigarette smoke. They still smoke. People know that steroids can kill them. They still do it. It's just the risks we take. It's the human condition. But when there's addiction, you can't try to, and sometimes people come into the office, they want to work with me and they're not candidates because certain things, because their lifestyle. I'm like, this isn't going to work for us because you're drinking 5, 6, 7 days a week and it won't work. You're going to not be happy with me. You're not going to be happy with the services. I'm not going to be happy with you. We're going to be frustrated energetically. It's not going to work. You can't get the mindset there for people that are dealing with addictions.
Yeah.
You just can't. They have to do the work. That's like inner. I don't know what that is. That's not my field.
Yeah.
I don't know what they would do. I've racked my brain many times thinking, what can you do to support someone? I think you just love them from a distance and they are who they are. You can't take on their stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's all of what you're saying is very true. Very valid.
Craziness.
It's all good stuff.
So now tell me, people want to get in touch with you?
They can go, I'm the same person on all platforms. So just Dr. Elyse Tursi on Instagram, Dr. Elyse Tursi on Facebook, and drelysetursi.com for the
And
website.
that's Tursi.
Yes.
Okay.
ELYSETURSI.
Cool. So I just want to make sure. And
Yeah,
then
oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
anybody that hits us up about this episode, because, it's been great. I want to have you on again. We're going to talk about other stuff
We're
next
going to
time.
talk about rocks next
Yes,
time.
we'll talk about just specific rocks and
I'm
art.
going to figure out what is in that pink goop.
Yes.
Like,
oh,
what
it's
is that?
so
You're
gross.
better off not.
But
Yeah,
what is
I don't
it? I'm
think-
just curious, like, what actually is it?
I don't know, because we don't eat it anyway. So
Yeah.
fuck it.
Oh,
You're better off.
I got chills thinking about
Yeah,
that.
it's gross. It's gross. And now your new office is going to be where?
So I'm going to be in Garden City. Any way to connect with me, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or calling on the website, you can just go to any of those platforms and connect with me. But Garden City,
Awesome.
yes,
Awesome. Well, I know I had a great time talking with you.
I did too. Thank
Absolutely.
you guys.
John was awesome. You want to kick this outro off?
Kick it out of here. So, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in this week's episode of The Voice.
And Rizzles, joined by
Dr. Tursi.
Hey Now, peace.